Geh, Jung. Voi! Nu. Hier, Ali. Stell mir gleich um, ne? Du musst gleich hoch wahrscheinlich. Weiter, komm Männer. Wohler, komm. Hier liegt ein Ball. Achtung. Sorry. Juni, komm. Hier. Glückst du, ne? Voll. Juni, rechts. Geht hier. Voll. Ali. Hier. Voll. Hier. Oi. Bitte Ball gerne weg. Ball ist ein Ball, gell? Ich weiß, da laufe ich aber nicht lang. Hier. Ball. Voll. Ja. Gut. Moin. Müssen wir nicht die andere Übung noch machen? Gut. Komm, zieh. Voll. Voll.
Minutes warm-up.
Was? Wer wollen wir? Baby? Wollen wir hoch? Wohl, mach einfach weiter. Einfach weitermachen. Hier. Okay, alle. Geh hoch. Wohl.
Gut. Welcome back to the IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017. Day 3, Game 2, and a first chance to take a look at Team France, who will take on the hosts, Germany, who already have themselves maximum points from their opening game, even if we did have to divide that into 2 games. My name's Alan Martin, alongside me Peter Selby, one of our commentators here at this tournament. Germany will not have been overly happy. A win is a win after all. They said they wanted more goals. They know in that group goal difference is going to be key.
Yeah, a 2-0 victory against Italy in their first game, but then Italy have gone and won 4-0 against Romania, 4 goals by the young superstar Poliobo. And that really puts in that German performance as quite a good victory, because I think Italy could actually cause a number of these teams a few problems in Group A. So it's the 3 points that really matters, but it's our first time that we see France in these championships. They've got a good pedigree, have the French 3 times European champions, silver medalist in London 2012. And just speaking to a few of the journalists here, they expect France to go very far in this tournament, at least the semi-finals, and maybe even further. Yeah,
we actually spoke to one of the French audio describers a little bit earlier on, who was very, very confident, and actually said he felt like the French team may be able to win. We'll take a look at the goals that Germany did score in a couple of moments' time. Talk to me about the team news that's in. Any real changes for Germany?
Just looking at the team news, there is one change for Germany. Jonathan Tonzing, who started the game against Italy, he's the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga, and as you can see, Tonzing's not in the starting lineup and also not on the bench as well. So interesting news there, but they will be buoyed by the fact that Ali Chang-Pettas, who's worked for a year to get over a serious knee injury, 4-time Bundesliga Golden Boot winner, he's now back. He's played in the first game. He's had no reaction to playing most of that first game, and he's in the starting lineup, and he'll lead the attack. Alexander Fangman, who scored the second goal for Germany, he'll captain the team once again, and he's in the starting lineup.
Okay, let's take a look at the lineup for France that will take on the host nation, who are away in this game. Whilst they are the host nation, they are still drawn away in certain games, and that is the French lineup. Who should we look out for here, Pete?
Number 8, Dele Labar, very good player alongside Van Rouagie. Number 10, really good technical team. Again, very good close control. But the one thing that sets France apart from a number of teams here, it's the strength of their bench. There's only 4 on the bench, but real quality there. Any of those 4 could have been in that starting lineup.
You note only 4 substitutes highlighted down for France, so hopefully they won't have too many injuries or red cards to deal with, a la Georgia in this competition so far. Let's take a look now at the goals that Germany have scored in this tournament to date. Pete, you were on the mic to call all of these, and they've had some fabulous moments.
Yeah, Germany getting off to a winning start. I mentioned their captain, Fangman, who scored the second. The first one by Kuting, who is not on the field today. So we'll have to find out what his injury problem is. I can't believe they would drop the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. He opened the scoring against Italy, and then Fangman doubled the lead. And I think we'll see the German captain in a more advanced role. He generally tends to anchor the midfield, but in Tonzing's absence, I think that Fangman will be more advanced.
Again, you see some of the super shots and super slow-mos that we've had here in the tournament. A lot of people praising the coverage of the tournament so far. The first time that it was kind of been taken to this level, a studio. We've got 7 cameras out there filming the action as well. It really has been able to capture moments just like this, Pete. What a run this is, and the finish is sublime.
Yeah, one of the goals of the tournament so far. There's Fangman running from deep and then using the extra height in the goals to rifle the ball into the roof of the net, and it's something that the French will be fully aware of. The runs from deep from the likes of Alexander Fangman and Ali Chang-Pettas. It's something that they'll have to look out for, but also France will be employing those same tactics as well. I mentioned their close control, but all of the outfield players for France, they do possess good shots. Again, many of them bow-footed, very similar to the Turkish team. When there is a dead ball situation around the D, inside the broken line, the final third, it doesn't matter who will take that. They all have a good shot on them. They all can connect well with a blind football that we have in front of us. Normally have 1 or 2 who specialties at dead ball situations, but with this French team, it could be any of them, and that includes the people are on the bench.
In a couple of moments, we'll take a look at the teams that they still have left to play, these two. But for now, don't be fooled, by the way. Glorious sunshine right behind us once again here at the old train station. You can see the entranceway to the old railway station just behind us. But what we've actually just had is a massive downpour, and that is exactly what we had on Friday night of the opening game. The German game against Italy called off and had to play the rest of it after, I think it was 8.5 minutes had gone. So we have had a downpour a moment ago. It seems to have disappeared, but wherever the German team go, the rain seems to follow.
Yes, when the rain came down for their first game, we were talking on air regarding the slippery surface and how that would affect the roll of the ball and also being a goalkeeper. But I think this shower we've had, it was quite heavy, but only for 5 minutes or so. It's going to have a nice sheen on the surface.
I was going to say, because I actually went out onto one of the practice areas a little bit earlier on, and it's still very, very wet. Even though we haven't had a drop of it since Friday night, it's still really, really wet. So actually what we've just had a couple of moments ago will only go to make that ball go a little bit quicker. So once again, we'll have a look at the fixtures to come for the teams that we've got out here tonight. So let's take a look at those, shall we? We'll bring you those in just a second. Once again, Pete, anybody new to the sport, we'll have a chat about the ball in a couple of seconds. I'm going to pick it up and shake it so people can understand how it is that somebody who is blind or visually impaired can hear that ball and actually play football with it. Here we are. So we've got France and Germany's next few games. A victory already under the belt for Germany. Which is the toughest game for France? Is it this one, or is it a little bit later on?
I think it will be the game against England tomorrow. This is their first game against Germany. If you had to pin me down for who's going to win this game, I do fancy the French to actually come out on top. I do think it's going to be very close, but France, if they do defeat Germany and then get a victory against England, they'll be confident about beating Romania and Italy in their last couple of matches. So France really have their two hardest games of the group, first and second. Germany, they've beaten Italy, they've got that 3 points in the bag already. Even if they do lose today to France, I think their big game will be against England last up, and I think that will be the deciding match of who goes into the semi-finals, probably alongside the French.
So we were just talking a moment ago about the rattle in the ball, not just Pete that rattles, the ball does as well. Talk to me about the ball in general, Pete.
It's a size 4 football, so it is smaller than the size 5 that's used in 11-a-side football. You can hear the bells inside. Now the bells obviously indicate where the football is for the players. All the players are B1 category, so they have no vision at all. They wear gauzes on their eyes and also a blindfold as well, just so it's a complete level playing field. Now it is also quite a slippery ball as well, so we've seen a number of goals so far in these championships where the ball has actually squirmed underneath the goalkeeper, and with the wet surface I can see that happening 1 or 2 more times in this game. But yes, it is quite heavy as well, so if you are a goalkeeper you do need to be brave, because you do have a footballer bearing down on you at pace, and then only from maybe 2 or 3 yards out, taking a power shot with this football, it's going to leave a few bruises.
Right, so we've seen the ball, we've seen what Germany have done before. What we have out here right now is a crowd starting to fill up. So a big thank you to Pete. He's going to make his way back over to the commentary box, and the teams have come off from their warm-up. They have a pure silence warm-up, 20 minutes of warm-up they have. It all goes quiet, then the music kicks back in, and you can see the referees there, the match ball on the plinth being ready. Plenty of German flags around, plenty of German support here in this very first international competition in blind football to be held in this fabulous country. A fabulous city to host it. The sun is out, the crowd have come. Let's hand over to our commentators for this game. It is Jonathan Bell and Peter Selby.
Good afternoon, Alan. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Berlin for IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017. It's day number 3, game number 2. France locking horns with Germany. And I think this is the first real heavyweight clash we've had in these championships so far. France favouring themselves going into these championships. They've won it 3 times, silver medalists in London 2012 as well. Taking on Germany, who got off to the best possible start on Friday night / Saturday morning with that 2-0 victory over Italy. And at the moment, Group A nicely poised. England have a win, Germany have a win, and Italy now have a win as well after that success over Romania earlier on today. Both teams just assembling themselves in the tunnel at the moment. Germany will be in their traditional white shirts, black shorts and white socks. And of course, Alan mentioned, Pete, that we had a downpour a few moments ago. The sun's out again now, but we've got the remainder of the rain on top of our tent, spraying into the gaps in our commentary position and wetting our paperwork. But we're very much looking forward to the game ahead.
Yeah, looking forward to a cracking game. It's the first game for France in these championships, and speaking to a number of French journalists earlier on today, as I was just talking to Alan March there, I expect France to go far in this tournament. They're in Group A alongside the likes of Germany and England. I think it's between those three who will advance into the semi-finals. Top two go through. And that victory against Italy on the first day, 2-0, many people thought that there might be more goals in that game. But then Italy coming back and winning by 4-0 earlier on this morning against Romania. All 4 goals for Poliobo. It just puts the 2-0 victory for Germany in perspective, and actually it's better than maybe first thought. So a really good crowd here in Berlin, patiently waiting for the two teams to take to the field. I'm very intrigued by this French side. Silver medalists at London 2012, 3 times European champions, very strong domestic league that they share with Belgium, and here come the two teams.
So as I mentioned, Germany in their traditional white strip with the red V-shape going between either shoulder, white shorts for them with white socks as well. France in their traditional all blue strip, led out by their goalkeeper Julien Royer in the yellow shirt and black trousers. But a great roar from the near side, the crowd all backing the host nation here, and they give back a round of applause to those who have attended this game as well. A lot of these German players lapping up not just this competition, but a competition on home soil as well. They've done minor tournaments like the Four Nations last year where they finished second, but nothing quite on this scale, and they'll be looking to build on a good performance against Italy the other day. They won by 2-0, of course, yesterday morning in the end, and we now await their national anthem as both teams stand on either half of the field awaiting the first anthem, which of course is the German one. Roar from the Germans, a deafening roar here inside this stadium. They're definitely pumped ahead of this one. Now it's the first time France get to sing their national anthem at these European Championships in Berlin. A big cry out from the French team then, singing that song with the passion that it deserves, a fantastic national anthem. And the French will soon be shaking hands with the Germans. A clash of two European heavyweights going face to face on day 3 of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships. The two teams being read out to the stadium and we can have a gander at those teams now. France lining up with Julien Royer in goal. We mentioned he's got the yellow strip with the black trousers as well. Martin Baron, David Labarre, Fabrice Mogado, the captain of France, and Ivan Wuyangji line up in their starting 5. As for Germany, a couple of changes from their game against Italy on game number 1 of these championships. Sebastian Themmel keeping his place in goal. Tamay Kutig, who got the first goal of these championships, also starts. But in comes Mulheta Russum, very experienced indeed. The MTV Stuttgart defender making his 61st international appearance today. Alichan Bektaş starts once again. He looked very industrious in the game against Italy on day 1. And also completing the first 5 to take to the field for Germany. Alexander Fangman, captain, 71st appearance today, should I say. He got his 16th international goal in that match against Italy. And we were talking beforehand, Pete, off air, about how Germany have this sort of strength in depth. They've got a new sort of team on the field today, but still it's as strong as the one that played against Italy the other day.
Yeah, very strong side. Alichan Bektaş will be leading the line. Alexander Fangman, also the captain scorer in the first game. And looking down the lineup, I mentioned to Alan, couldn't see Jonathan Tonzing actually makes his way on the bench, so maybe that's a late change there. Possibly an injury scare for Jonathan Tonzing, but the German fans will be delighted that he's in the squad. And if he's fit enough to get on the field, I'm sure it won't be long until he graces this surface, which has been dampened by a rain shower beforehand. I was talking to Alan March earlier, and it'll be interesting to see how much effect that has on the ball. We've seen the ball go underneath the goalkeepers on numerous occasions in this game, in this championship so far, and the added greasiness on the ball might see that happen on a couple of occasions in this match. Now France all in blue, Germany all in white.
Head or we've got a tail? Alex, your call. Head. This is a tail. You get to choose which end.
Doch bis dahin haben wir natürlich geschafft, unseren Spielern hier zu zeigen, dass das Rund wieder einmal voll ist, und das hört sich wie an.
So, Germany will be kicking things off. France have said that they want to stay on the same side of the field as they are at the moment. There's an added spice in this game as well. Germany finished 6th at Euro 2015 in Great Britain. The reason they couldn't progress any farther was because they lost to France on penalties and did not make it into the semi-finals. So therefore, France have to be wary of the fact that Germany, backed by the home crowd, are going to be out for revenge.
Yeah, the French first appearance in these IBSA Blind Football European Championships, and they've got a difficult game here against Germany, backed by this partisan crowd here in the centre of Berlin. Happy to say that the sky looks a lot clearer. The rain is following Germany around after the thunderstorms on day 1. 2 teams in their huddles, and then they'll break onto the field of play, and then the 2 officials will then go and shake hands with the 2 coaches, and then we'll get this game underway. So 2 of the teams who will be looking to qualify from Group A facing off, one of the first of the big clashes. After this game later on this afternoon, 5 o'clock, we have a real mouth-watering clash in Group B between Turkey and Russia, the finalists from 2 years ago. Turkey beating Russia in that final. That's at 5 o'clock local time. So after this game, this is game 2 of 4 on the day 3 of these IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Make sure you get in contact with us. Here we've got a Twitter handle at Euro 2017 Berlin. Use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Ask us any questions regarding blind football or regarding these championships. Who are you supporting? Who are you watching? Who are you cheering on? And where are you in the world watching this live stream? So at Euro 2017 Berlin and hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Get in contact with us and we'll try and answer any questions that you have about this wonderful sport of blind football.
So the official shaking hands with the coaches. We understand that the official has actually shown a yellow card to the French coach Samir Gassama for the team coming out late. Of course, we'll wait for confirmation of that, but it's certainly not an ideal start to this game for France. So Germany kick off then in their all-white strip as world number 12 Germany take on world number 13 France in what is a very tasty contest indeed. And already the first free kick of the game awarded in Germany's favour, the foul being committed by the French captain Fabrice Morgado, and it will be just outside the attacking zone for the Germans, and standing over the ball is their set-piece specialist Taime Kutig, the number 7, and with him is number 8 Mageta Russum. The oldest German player, he turns 41 in November, does the big number 8. And he currently has 60 appearances for his nation to his name. So free kick then for the Germans on the left-hand side. Taken now, and Kutig will try and worm his way to central position, shoots towards the far corner. It's parried by Julian Royer, and he couldn't keep it from going behind for a corner, and Germany with a territorial advantage early on in this game.
Yeah, just a example there of the slippery ball. The goalkeeper couldn't keep hold of that, and it bounced behind the byline, so it's going to be the first corner of the game to Germany from the right-hand side. Taken, Ali Can Pektash on that far right-hand side by the kickboard. Lovely drag back into the midfield third. Squares the ball over to the left, and Fangman by the left-hand kickboard, being hustled and harried by Morgado, the captain. They both fall to ground, the two captains fighting in the midfield. Nothing given, with Germany on the right on the halfway line, and Pektash being forced back by Baron, but Pektash lovely drag back, goes down the right-hand side, out-muscled and illegally, says the referee. Labert on the left for France, just pushing into Ali Chang Pektash, who's already showed off his close control skills. Lovely drag back on that right-hand side kickboard, and it forced the defender to make that shoulder barge tackle, and that's the second team foul for France already.
France yet to get out of their own half yet, Pete, and that's a bit of a worry for them. Of course, Germany have already had a game in these championships. They're used to this surface, they're used to the ball, they're used to these conditions. France trying to feed their way in, and they're going to concede another corner here as well. The last touch coming off David Labat, and once again the trickery of the German front players really coming to the fore. So going across to take this corner is the captain Alexander Fangman, the taller of the two. He passes it to Ali Chan Pektash, who runs back towards his halfway line here. And in fact, this is the first time that France have been in the opposing half. Of Ali Chan Pektash takes it into his own half before trying to kick it forward on the left-hand side. There's around 5 players, 3 from France, 2 from Germany, battling for the ball on the edge of the centre circle inside the France half. Ali Chan Pektash battling to win it back on the far side of the right, just over halfway. Certainly made his match though with Martin Baron here as well, and the latter can clear it towards the near side, the French right. And now their captain has it, Morgado. Running down the right-hand side, his namesake Manuel is behind the goal, the French guide. He'll be looking to get as close as possible to that net here as he pokes it towards the left now, and Baron. He gets past Fangman, Baron. Not many players up with him, though, it has to be said. He laterally comes inside, midway inside the German half. Germany cleared their lines over halfway, and now retreating and struggling is Labar. He keeps it from going behind for a corner very well at the last-ditch attempt, but he's not so fortunate that time around, and the pressure from Ali Chan Pektash really paying off there. A third German corner, again on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Ali Chan Pektash will take this corner, and he just turns to the crowd and gives a bit of a applause to say, come on, get behind us. Obviously they need to stay silent while the game is in motion, but a real big crowd here in Berlin have arrived for this second game on day 3. Germany's second game after winning 2-0 in their encounter with Italy. Lovely drag back by Ali Chan Pektash, right hand side of the D. It's poked into the goalkeeping square by a French boot, so good defending, and the goalkeeper rolls it out for Ouaji down the right hand side. Goes past his man, but doesn't continue his run. The ball's down into the far right hand corner. It's kept on going down the play by the German defence, and again they just clear their lines up to halfway. Here comes the number 7 for Germany, Kuting over from the left to the right hand side, where Pektash can't pick it up. And now France launch their attack into German territory. Lovely dribbling from Baron. Up to the broken line. Baron stops, goes over to the left-hand side, past the broken line now. He's around about 12 metres from the goal. Just loses out to the German defence. And now up over halfway with Pektash. Quite scrappy in the midfield in these first few minutes. No one really controlling the game. Labert inside the centre circle. Lovely switch to the far left-hand side. Baron picks it up deep inside German territory. Tries to drift in, but there's 2 men in front of him. And once again, Germany clear outside of their own third. The ball has just stopped, so once it's been found, which it has now, Germany can clear through Rusum, who didn't find his way onto the field of play in the first game. A surprise inclusion in this match. Baron into the D, loses control, and it runs out for a goal kick for Germany. Over on throw, bounces a couple of times inside their own half. Of course, it needs to bounce at least once for it to be a legal throw, but lovely control by Morago. Goes over the halfway line. Waji into the D, fails to get a shot on goal. He drifted in from the right-hand side, got into the D. His headgear has come off, so there's going to be a pause in play. The time will also stop, which is a new rule here in blind football. Every incident, the clock will stop, so 20 minutes each way. But that, of course, will be increased because of the stoppages. Also, the goal sizes have increased for a more exciting sport. Plenty of quarterfinals and semi-finals over the last 6 to 10 years have become 0-0 draws and settled on penalties. I think it's the end of that with these big goals, expecting plenty of action here. Goalkeeper restarts to the right-hand side, and Pektash on the halfway just flips it too high over the officials' tent and into the packed grandstands here in Berlin.
Absolutely, a couple of German flags on the far side. One of them saying Gruß das Team der Blinden Fußball National Mannschaft, which translates into greetings to the German national team, coming from Steinbach-Hallenberg in the centre of Germany. So the ball on the left-hand side with France next to that left-hand kickboard. And David Labert will take just short of the halfway line. Alichan Pektash coming close to try and close the ball down. Instead it goes to Fangman in the right back position, switches it from right to left, and now a counter-attack possibly on for Taime Kuti. Goes back into his own half before trying to get an angle to clear it towards the far side, and as he swung for the ball there, coming onto the scene was David Labert trying to block the ball. He didn't intercept, but he did win a foul, and also got a nasty bruise, I think, from that as well.
Yeah, accidental foul there. Kuting helping Labert to his feet, and a round of applause given for that sportsmanship. But yes, he tried to just clear the ball, but obviously the ball ran away from him and collided with the player. So it's going to be a French free kick inside the centre circle. Morago over to the left-hand side to try and find Baron, and it comes off Baron last and goes out for a goal kick to Germany. So quite scrappy in his early stages. Both goalkeepers have little to do so far. The French number one, Julien Royer, who has managed to parry one already round the post, and that was really the only goal-scoring chance so far. Pektash battling hard on the right-hand side, past the broken line, inside the final third, drifts into the centre. There's 4 men back for France, and they're very robust in their tackles, and it's well won back by Labart. Labart to Baron inside his own third. Now goes over the broken line, up to the halfway line, straight down the centre. He's passed 2 men so far. He's got 1 man to beat. Goes to ground. He lost possession before he went to ground. The ball runs out of play, and it's going to be a corner. But the ball actually ran away from him before he was brought down. So no foul given, but it's going to be a corner. Lovely run there by Baron, who operates mainly on the left-hand side, but this time his run was straight down the centre, and France will now have this set piece. Corner from the left in blazing sunshine here in Berlin. It's going to be Baron himself to go over and take this corner from the left-hand side. Along with him is Morgado, who's the captain, wearing a red armband. Morgado will just nudge this forward for Baron to maybe have an arch run around the D, or maybe go back to the broken line, or possibly directly into the D itself. Here goes Baron, actually chips it to the far side, trying to find Labart. Labart picks it up on the edge of the D. Right-hand side, right-footed shot, takes the deflection into the goalkeeper's arms, and did well to adjust his feet and then collect that into his chest. Pektas controls the ball in French territory, nearly goes down under a tackle from Baron, but Pektas still has it by the right-hand kickboard, goes to ground, gets up, still has the ball on the broken line, lovely drag back, now squares it over to the left, and Couting controls inside the French half, back to the halfway line. Couting starts his run, avoids one tackle, now he's running straight towards the D, goes down, nothing given by referee Michael Pic, who's on the scene, and it's through to the goalkeeper for France.
One of Germany's goals the other night was from their captain Alexander Fangman. He took the ball from deep and ran all the way through the defence of Italy. I don't think they're going to get the same joy from France, who have been very resolute in the heart of the defence so far. They currently have an attack on, though, do the French, just left of halfway. Lovely turn from Baron down the left-hand side, trying to get away from Alexandre Pektas, who is very much a tricky customer, as is Fangman. Is looking for the ball. The ball is currently stationary, but they've just about managed to get it moving again, and now the counter-attack possibly on over halfway with Couting. Still has possession on the right-hand side, runs into Alexandre Pektas, his teammate. Baron behind is trying to find where the ball is. In fact, it's Lebert, the number 8. He's battling away next to the kickboard, and I think he's gone a little bit too far there. Very eager stuff from the French number 8, but he fouls Témé Couting.
Yeah, that's where it was a foul there, because he collided with the player, got nowhere near the ball, and really that's a prime example of the defence so far for France. They're really fierce in their tackles, and so far they've got 3 team fouls. So 3 team fouls so far for France. Remember, they're allowed 5 team fouls. Any more than that, then there will be an 8-metre penalty kick. And they've got 3 already in this first half, and there's still 15 minutes to go. So the French will have to watch out for that. Germany on the left-hand side through Couting. Past the broken line, chance for a right-footed shot from distance, and it's tackled just as they're about to take a swing at the ball. The player's gone down for France, number 8, Roussum, who was the person who intercepted that shot. Cleared out to the right-hand side, inside the German half. A collision between players. Both go to ground. It's going to be a French free kick. Holding has been given against France, against Germany, and the number 8, Roussum, who went to ground, but he's been given for holding. Morgado will take this free kick. Eyewear has just been reapplied. Second team foul for Germany. Looks like number 7, Témé Couting, just having a chat with the referee, and whether he needs his eye patches corrected. No, his protective headband in the black, yellow and red of France has come off, so that's going to be reapplied. So this free kick, it's on the broken line, around 15 metres from the German net. 2 yards in from the right-hand kickboard. 2 men standing over the ball. It's going to be Morgado, the captain, number 9, to receive this ball. On the left-hand side is Baron, standing on the edge of the D. 2 men in the wall. Goalkeeper with hands on his knees, crouching down. The French coach behind the goal, just giving instructions. He's going to tap the near right post, starting at the bottom and then going all the way to the top. Now he does the far left. So Morgado, the captain, from an acute angle, takes a right-footed shot, comes off the defence and doesn't find its way into the D. Germany are struggling to clear their lines. They eventually do, over to the right-hand side, but straight to the feet of Baron. Up to the halfway, lovely stop, and then back heel to himself down the left-hand side. Can he keep this from going out of play? Yes, he can. He's down by the left corner, by the kickboard. Once again, a change in direction. This time doesn't fool the defence, and Alexander Fangman can try and clear it for Germany, but once again struggling to get outside their own third. Over the right-hand side, and Labert just goes back to the halfway line. Now he can start to run, but he decides to play the ball down the right-hand kickboard. All the play so far in the German half, and now a counter-attack by Germany down the right, and Pektas, who can't control at the first bite of the cherry, now second opportunity, but a lovely back heel down the line by number 10, Ouaji, and he continues his run straight into Fangman, the captain, who's holding his head. The referees have waved play on. Now they eventually see Fangman, and the game has been stopped. An initial lovely back heel by Ouaji, but then a collision of heads right in front of the referees' tables.
Yeah, these players are absolute warriors and make no bones about it at all. They love the physicality of this sport. This is one of the reasons why they play it. However, it can go a bit too far every now and then, and I think the ice pack is being applied to the head of Alexander Fangman on that far side. He's got a couple of the doctors and trainers with him, The team doctor for France is Dara Teljunek, and their physio is Julien Zalala, and I think those two are just on the far side at the moment, nursing that injury and making sure that he's got his blindfold back as well. Of course, he can't play without that. But there's been a lot of needle in this game so far, Pete. It's fantastic to see both sides going about their business really well and putting their sort of body on the line, which is fantastic to see for their nation. The crowd are responding, a breakout of a German chant as well, which all these stands are getting with. And Alichan Bektas, half striker, half cheerleader at the moment for Germany, really getting the crowd up for this one. And whenever there is a bit of noise, when there is a pause in play, I think it's good for the players to sort of lift morale a wee bit.
Yes, obviously the crowd have to be silent during play, but when there is a pause like this, when players aren't moving around and need to know the location of other players, then that's when the crowd can really get behind. And of course then the players know how many are here in the stadium, and it's really filled up for this game on this Sunday afternoon. And just looking over to the left-hand side where the weather's coming from, and looks like it's going to be dry for the foreseeable future, and plenty of sun drying the surface after a real downpour just beforehand. Substitution for Germany. Coming off is number 10, Alexander Fangman, and he's going to be replaced by Hassan Kopran. Game gets underway with Germany just kicking the ball out of play for a French restart.
And indeed it will be the French goalkeeper, Julien Royer, to throw it down the heart of the German defence. The substitute, Hassan Kopran, immediately getting on the ball and charging forward with it as well. A very tall, stocky figure is Kopran. He plays it to the right-hand side, and the small Alichan Bektas, he tries to keep it in alongside the kickboard and the byline, but he fails to do so, and it goes out of place. And the Germans making another substitution now. Alexander Fangman looks as if he'll be returning straight onto the field. And what a small cameo that was for Hassan Kopran. One charge over the halfway line, he's been taken off again for Fangman.
Yeah, Kopran being replaced by the captain Fangman, who, in the absence currently of Jonathan Tonsing, is one of the main goal threats for Germany. Game's back underway. Long ball from the back of France, trying to switch from the right to the left. That's just going to run out of play. Can't be picked up by Baron on the left-hand side. So it's going to be Germany to restart with their goalkeeper Themmel, looking for a long throw, but decides to roll it out short for Kuting in the left side of his own third. Drifts into the centre. He's got options on the right where Bektas has been plying his trade, but he gets tackled at the first opportunity, and Baron runs towards the D. Can't get a shot off on goal. I think it was Morado for France. Germany clear, only just outside their own third once again. Accidentally tackling their own player, the French on the left-hand side. Labert, also number 6 Baron, and there's Fangman going to ground along with Kuting. Kuting with the ball on the right for Germany. Very even so far in this game. Good ball down the right to try and find Bektas. Bektas beats his first man, and then it just rolls to the goalkeeper. Unlucky there for the German number 9. We just get a round of applause from the crowd, and the referee is just putting his hand in the air to say, please limit the noise, obviously, whilst the game's in motion. Nice switch by Ouaji from the right to the left-hand side. Sickening collision of heads on the edge of the D, and here's a free kick being given. It looks like it's been given for the French, and I'd imagine a no-voy call has been awarded. We'll wait for the referee to come to the near side. It was a collision between Roussem, the number 8 for Germany, and Baron, the 6 of France. The referee will come to the centre line and then signify the decision. I can only imagine it's going to be for voy. All the players need to shout voy to let them, all the teammates and the other players, know where they are. And if you don't shout voy, yep, voy is the foul that's been caused. Then obviously collisions can happen, and that's what's happened there. So another team foul for Germany. That's 3 each, and we've still got 10 minutes to go in this first half. So free kick for France, 3 yards outside of the D. On the left-hand side, Baron, who was involved in that collision of heads, will take this. 4 men in the wall, the goalkeeper just lining them up so it will cover that near post. So I'd imagine Baron will either strike this or move to a more central position and then strike. Goalkeeper almost down on one knee, just off his line. So he's crouching very low. Do remember the goals have been increased in height as well as width. So anything above the goalkeeper might just take him by surprise. Both taps of the post, left and right.
Theatrical stuff from the trainer as well there, flying into the net. Will that fly into the net as well with the ball? The answer is no, blocked firmly by the wall. Of course, it's not just the players that can get into a tangle on the pitch, but the guides can as well. Emmanuel Magano, a victim of that there with a very theatrical fall into the back of the net. Germany keep it out away from their area though. It's a good clearance down to the other end of the field. Alichan Pektas just unable to track the location of the ball there as it rolls out of play, and Julian Royer will restart.
Royer down the left-hand side. Can it avoid Fangman? No, it can't. Picked up by Germany, who's now got 2-on-2. Fangman falls over the first player, and nothing given by the referee. So a good tackle there by the French defence, but that was one of the first opportunities that the German attack was either level in terms of numbers or actually had advantage over the French defence, who have been very mobile in getting back. But they've always had 2 men up front, France. Almost seems like they've got more players on the pitch than the German side. Kuting goes to ground, gets it at the second opportunity inside the centre circle, goes past one, straight down the centre, and then again runs into that blue wall. But he might have a second opportunity on the edge of the D, picks it up, can't get a shot off on goal. That looked like it came off Uwaji last, and nope, it's going to be a goal kick to France once again, and the yellow shirts of Royer will look for a long throw, or even just rolls it out of his D to the left-hand side. He does so, finds Labert, who then plays it down the right-hand side. I think it would have been easier for the goalkeeper to do that. Here comes Kuting over halfway, 2 French players in front of him. Again, he just loses possession as he tried to stop. Pektas can't pick it up at the first time of asking on the right-hand side kickboard, deep in French territory, and France clear their lines once again. Over the broken line into the midfield third. Lovely drag back by Baron on that left-hand side to a more central position. Inside the centre circle, goes past Fangman, and then goes back for the ball because he just stood in front of it and it hit his heel. He's back inside his own third. Number 8, Labert. Just loses it to the German attacker, Kuting, and you don't want to do that inside your own third. So he's going to be given the call by the goalkeeper just to clear it down the right-hand side. He's been hustled and harried by Kuting. And it looks like the free kick's been given. Let's have a look at the guide behind the goal. Wow, he takes a tumble, much to the laughter of the crowd, but hopefully he's okay. Seems like he's none the worse for his tumble, maybe just a red face. So it's going to be a German free kick. So they managed to keep the ball from going out of play, but also got themselves a free kick as well. And that's the 4th team foul as well for France. And with 10 minutes to go, or just less than 10 minutes to go in this first half, we could be seeing some penalty kicks at some point. That's from 8 metres, remember. So this free kick, very dangerous free kick for Germany. Left-hand side, standing over the ball, is Kuting, who actually won the free kick. There's going to be a 3-man wall for France. They're going to block the near post. And just away from that wall is Baron, wearing 6. The other 2 German players are lurking in French territory on the far side. Looks like Kuting is just going to roll it. Or maybe Fangman. And Pektas is also there. You can see the number 7 of Kuting. He was the person who's just now pointing towards the wall. He won this free kick, so maybe it's his right to strike at goal. Very acute angle though, only 3 or 4 yards from the byline. It is Kuting, shoots at the near post and it's wide. He had the best effort there on goal of the match, Kuting. He did the right thing by bringing it towards the centre, and then a snapshot was deflected wide. Goalkeeper's foot was there, and it's going to be a corner from not too dissimilar place from where the free kick was taken. This time it's Pektas who goes back to the broken line. Now he's more central, so he'll start a run towards the opposition third. He goes all the way back to the halfway line and pushes Baron in the back. Nothing given because Baron has the ball. Bit of pressure by Fangman. Baron's back towards his own D. He loses out, and if Fangman can pick this up, it will be very dangerous for the French. They just clear it. Anywhere will do up to halfway.
They do, and it's a tussle on the halfway line, which it looks like Kuting's come out on top. The ball goes loose into the centre. Fangman puts an orange boot on it, then charges forward down the centre. Interception from Labare, pokes it towards the far side in front of the French bench. And it's Labar coming out on top ahead of Pektas, but Pektas then wins the ball, it seemed, but the referee indicates a foul for a push, and that may be a fourth German team foul of this first half. And we've said about Pektas going round, getting the crowd all jeered up. Maybe the adrenaline's get to him a little bit too much, and he concedes a fourth German team foul.
Yeah, so 4-4 in terms of fouls. So once again, just to reiterate, they're allowed 5, and timeout has been called. So timeout called by, I think it was Germany with that timeout. They're allowed 1 each.
At the moment, you have to say both managers would be pretty satisfied with the starts of either team. French coach Samir Gassama just talking to his players, as is Ulrich Versterer as well, as far as the Germans are concerned. Germany started off very much the better side in the first couple of moments. They forced a couple of corners, and France struggled to get out of their own half. But as the game has gone on, players like Martin Baron, the number 6, and David Labar, the number 8, have really come to the fore in the middle of the park, and they've put up a very solid resistance against Germany. They've made the game scrappy, but I think that was sort of the intention, Pete. It's not going to be a pretty game, this one. If it was open, France would be really risking things. So by making it tight, by making it even, it really hands things finally in the balance. No mistakes is the key.
Yeah, it's very level, 0-0 with 9 minutes to go inside this first half, and a better chance really for Germans, even though France, many people tip them as possible winners of this blind football European Championships. Remember the pedigree that they have. Silver medalists in 2012 London, and 3 times European Championships. Last time was back in 2011. Timeout is over, and we can get this game back underway. So 0-0, but it might come down to those possible 8-metre penalties. And again, there is a good 9 minutes remaining inside this first half. All the players' eye patches will be checked. And it's going to be France to get us back underway. They're inside their own half, in front of their bench. Ouaji will take this free kick. He goes himself down the left-hand side, goes past the first man, past the second on the left, edge of the D, chance for a right-footed shot, runs into Coutinho, a chance for France on the right side of the D, and that goes wide, and it's going to be a corner. So good effort there by Ouaji, really good slalom run straight down the centre, in and out of defenders, and then when the ball squirmed to the right-hand side, it goes wide of the left-hand post, and efforts from Morago, and that's it. Will result in this corner. It's going to be taken by Baron and Morgado, the captain. Looks like it's going to be Baron, old-headed number 6, who's been patrolling very well on that left-hand side for the blue shirts of France. Run straight into a German defender, Baron, and Germany try and clear. They do so through Rusum up to halfway, picked up though by Ouaji, and we know what he can do with the ball at his feet. He stops inside German territory, now goes straight down the centre, chance from the right-footed shot, edge of the D, can't get any purchase on the ball, goes out for a goal kick.
We've not seen too many glimpses from Ouaji. That's only like the third run he's done so far in this game, but every time he has done a run on goal, it's created something exciting for the French, and I'm sure any in the crowd here of a French persuasion will be certainly getting on the edge of their seats every time he has the ball in an attacking zone. Germany have lost their rhythm a bit in the last 5 minutes or so, epitomised by that collision by the 2 German players in the middle there, meaning Baron can scamper down the right, cuts inside in the penalty area, last-ditch tackle coming in from Rusum for Germany. He brings the ball up towards halfway, the experienced defender for the Germans. He appeals for a foul as he collides into the retreating Baron. The referee says no. France again tackling each other on the near side. Rusum now coming onto the scene as well, and Labar, the opposite number 8, will try and get things over halfway and get an attack going now for France. Rusum misses it. Baron now picks up possession left-hand side. Tight angle as he goes towards the byline, struggles to keep possession as it goes in between his legs. He gets in a bit of a tangle, and Sebastian Themmel can restart things for Germany. Thrown down the right-hand side, Alichan Pektas with that distinctive sort of two-footed jump in the air before controlling it with his shins. He now tries to scamper down the right. All four of the French defenders swarmed around him there. He comes up towards the broken line, dead central, working out whether he's going to go left or right. He opts for the left-hand side. A few Germans getting towards the edge of the seats there, but he runs out of space on the pitch as he gets towards the byline. Good defending in the end from France, working as a team, getting round in a pack of four.
Yeah, he couldn't swing his left boot at that, the good Pektas. But once again, as Jonathan said, it runs out for a German goal kick. French, when all four are back, swarm around the ball, but an early throw out to Pektas couldn't control, and if he did, it was going to be a one-on-one situation with only one defender between him and the goal. Looking for a long throw as well are the French, this time bowled out to the right-hand side, controlled by Rugado. Switches play across the halfway line to the left, picked up though by his opposite number 9, Alichan Pektas, loses out to Baron on that far side, and Baron is tripped by Fangman, gets to his feet, nothing given by the referee, and Fangman can bring it out for France down the right. Over halfway, chips it across towards Alichan Pektas, it goes over the kickboard and out for a French restart. So with 13 minutes and 31 seconds on the clock, so there's 6.5 minutes remaining of this first half. It's still goalless, and do remember each side with 14 fouls to their names.
Square pass from France from the restart, a very tame one, but Wijandi gets his foot on the ball and can motor down the centre once again. Trips over himself as he skipped past Pektas there, so it momentarily delays his approach forward. He has to retrieve the ball on the left-hand side, midway inside his own half. He loses his left trainer there as well, but that won't stop him battling away with Pektas. Great dedication to the cause from Wijandi, and I think the referee's going to stop play for an indirect free kick as his right arm is raised in the air. The foot of Wijandi at the moment, bare, so he'll put that trainer back on. An indirect free kick has been given for Germany, it seems, for the fact that the ball was touched by Wijandi without footwear on his left foot. So therefore it will be a personal foul, not a team foul, and Germany will restart play on the right-hand side, just in from the kickboard, around midway inside the French half.
Hope you're enjoying this match on the live stream. Please get in contact with us using Twitter at Euro 2017 Berlin is the Twitter handle, at Euro 2017 Berlin, and use the hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Hashtag #TheSoundOfFootball. Ask us any questions on these games. Tell us where you're watching from, who you're supporting, and any questions you've got on the sport of blind football. Free kick taken over to the left-hand side for Couting, who loses out to the French midfield once again. Good play by the captain, Morgado. Just stands on the ball inside the centre circle, so he has to backtrack somewhat. He's got Baron down the left-hand side. Still can't get the ball under control. Now pokes it towards Baron on the left kickboard. Switches play again, trying to find Morgado, who normally operates on the right. He's now inside the final third. Down by the right corner. Goes back towards the broken line. Now switches again down the right-hand side. Goes to ground, nothing given. Still got possession of the ball. Now passes it back to halfway to keep possession for the French. Labert inside the centre circle. Back down the right to Morgado. Switches play over to the left to try and find Baron, who's operating on the left side of the D. It doesn't find Baron, so he comes searching for the ball himself. He comes over to the right. Picks it up again from the blue shirts of France. Baron down by the right-hand side. Can't keep it from going out of play. And it will be a German restart. And punch in the air is number 7, Couting. Delighted with his German defence. Pektas on the right-hand side. Inside the final third. Comes inside to a central position. And again gets swarmed by the French defence, who can clear inside their own third.
Yeah, the pendulum of this game has pretty much stayed neutral throughout. However, it is beginning to shift in the favour of France. Baron on the ball now, a big physical presence, backheels it to the left-hand side, and the pacey, nimble Wijandi tries to scamper down the left-hand side. Fangman comes back, retrieves the ball. It comes off his foot last, however, and it goes out for a corner ball for France on their left-hand side. Germany are going to make a quick substitution before this set piece is taken. Coming onto the pitch, looks as if it will be Nayes, and it will be as well. It's pretty hard to mistake him for anybody else because he is such a tall player. Must be at 6'4", 6'5" or so. He'll be replacing number 7, Taime Couting. Hasn't really happened for him so far in this game. Of course, he scored the free kick against Italy on Friday night. Hasn't really had the same sort of opportunities so far in this first period, but that is because the French defence has been very tight. To be fair, the German one has as well. An instalment into their backline with Nayez on now to partner Mulgeta Rusum, the number 8. So a French corner on the left-hand side. Stood over the ball is the captain Fabrice Morgado, and also number 6 Martin Baron as well. It's the latter with it. Goes down the left-hand side. He's got a man in his back, which is Rusum, and it comes off a combination of Rusum, then Baron out of play for a German restart, but a team timeout called by Germany, which signals a round of applause from the crowd, and another breather for us as well, Pete. Not too many opportunities in this first half, but such an intriguing contest. You just feel that any goal, any chance will be taken by the impressive forwards for both teams, and that will be crucial as to who will win this game.
Yeah, trying to work out who's on top is quite difficult. I think maybe possibly the French, mainly because I think their defence so far has been so good. It's limited Germany just to have possession in that final third, and they've not managed to get a shot off on goal. More of a scramble defence, which we saw the Georgians employ yesterday until it all kind of unravelled for them in the second half. But Germany have performed very well indeed. It's very tight. I'll give the edge just slightly to France, but only because their defence again has been very well marshalled. Little chance at either side. Only the one real shot on goal, and that was for Germany actually on the left, but the goalkeeper had it covered at the near post. So very tight, and still those 4 team fouls for each side. There are 4.5 minutes remaining, so hopefully they don't come into play, and it's just through actual gameplay out on the field rather than set plays through fouls. If every game can be determined that way, and then obviously then it would be the perfect sport. It doesn't always happen, but there's 4 fouls for each side. Still could come into play. Like I said, 4.5 minutes with the clock stopping at every interval. So every time the referee blows his whistle for a foul, an infringement, a set play, then the time will stop. Long throw-outs, just bounces inside his own half, maybe actually on the halfway line, runs straight out of play. Maybe a bit too eager there. I know the Turkish team do employ that long throw. That goes over the halfway line. So here we have an example of a throw-out by the goalkeeper. Doesn't bounce inside his own half, so it's going to be a free kick to Germany on the halfway line, dead centre. And
stood over that ball is Alexander Fangman, the German captain. Ali Can Pektaş just to the left of him as well. Little and large for the German team. A substitution being made for France meanwhile. A good ripple of applause for the man going off. The French captain Fabrice Morgado, replaced by number 4, Gaël Rivière. And that will be taken, the free kick of course for Germany, right on the centre spot. Alexander Fangman charging down the centre just like he did against Italy on day 1. He can't quite get into the area with an opportunity though. He had 2 players around him who were David Lebert and Ivan Wuyandi as well. France trying to set up an attack on the left-hand side. It goes towards the corner. Almost took a deflection that of Mulgeta Rusum last, but it went over the byline before that touch was done. So ball now with France on the centre spot, poked towards the left-hand side by Rivière, and a charge through from Baron. Can he get the ball in the penalty area? The Germans are struggling to clear their lines. Eventually the experience of Mulgeta Rusum prevails, and he's not letting that ball up either. Goes all the way towards the halfway line to charge that down against his opposite number, Lebert, who will in the end have to concede the corner, put under the pressure of Mulgeta Rusum there, who didn't play on day 1 against Italy, but he certainly is a fan's favourite, the poster boy of German blind football, I would say, Mulgeta Rusum. His 61st international appearance tonight, and that sort of pressure, that sort of passion is exactly what the crowd has come here to see. Germany have a corner, right-hand side.
Yeah, corner to Germany on the right with 3.5 minutes remaining. Referee Michael Peake on that far side, just making sure everything's in order. Pektaş to take it. He's going to flip it to the far side to try and find Fangman, who has to recover the ball from the left-hand kickboard. Still inside, deep inside the final third for Germany. He's going to try and spin away from his man. He does so. More central position, right-footed, scuffed effort with little power. It's stopped by the French defence, and Ouadji will bring it up to halfway. Switches play over to the left-hand side. Baron picks it up off the rebound off the kickboard, but here goes Pektaş once again down the right, brought to ground by Baron. Now this could be foul number 5, and let's see what the decision from Michael Peake is. It's a foul by number 6, and that is indeed the 5th team foul for France. So any more team fouls committed by France in this first half, then it will result in an 8-metre penalty kick. Back to the action, and it will be a free kick itself, a yard inside the broken line, a yard inside from the right-hand kickball, just in front of the French bench. And it's going to be Roussom and also Ali Chan Pektash to take this. Fangman is lurking outside of the D over to the left-hand side, but I'll be amazed if Pektash doesn't just bring this forward and let fly from around about 8 to 10 yards out from that right-hand side. Even more, the fact that the 2 posts are being tapped for Pektash. There is a 2-man wall who are not standing next to each other. There is a gap between them. And then Wuaji is just slightly behind. Pektash, it's a poorly taken free kick. He almost stumbled over the ball as he took it out of the instep of Roussom, and he's being forced back to halfway and now loses possession. Baron, who gave away that free kick, has won it back for France inside the German half, and this could be for holding here. Baron had got away from Pektash, and it looked like the 2 arms came around the French midfielder. So we could have the fact that both teams are on 5, and yes indeed, that is the 5th foul for Germany. So any more team fouls, it will be an 8-metre penalty kick, and there is over 2.5 minutes remaining. So holding by Pektash on Baron.
Sorry, Pete, I think we're going to get a change of ball here. The referee not too content with the ball he had in hand, so it'd be new balls, please, onto the field. France will have the free kick on the right-hand side with Wuyanji stood over it. Just behind him is David Labat. And Pete mentioned with the 5 team fouls for either team, 1 more foul and you give away a penalty in such a tight contest like this. That could be absolutely crucial in a game of such limited chances. Chance on the break now for Fangman. Right-hand side coming towards the attacking zone. Good recovery from David Labar going across to that far side. He stayed down, possibly injured. Fangman continued and wriggled into the area on the right-hand side, but David Labar lay down on his side, face down onto the floor, and it doesn't look good. He's moving his left leg around. We get a replay on the screen of him going down at the moment. Fangman may have caught him as he hurdled the challenge of Labar there, but he's being held to his feet now by the goalkeeper Julian Royat, and a hug and an embrace between David Labar and Alexander Fangman. Just the sort of spirit that we like to have here.
Yes, he was actually pushed into the German player by his own player, Ouaji. He went to his right, Ouaji was there, who then accidentally nudged him to his left, and then he fell into his German opponent and collided heads, but he's back underway and sportingly gives the ball back to Germany. So with 2.5 minutes remaining of this first half, it's goalless, but the one piece of news is that both teams have had 5 team fouls. Here come Germany, trying to run the ball out of their own half through Roussom. Plays it nicely down the right-hand side to Fangman, who can turn and shoot. It's blocked by the defence from a central position 10 yards out to the left-hand side. And Pektash, good effort there by Fangman, who's limping back to the halfway line. Pektash now from the left-hand side, being swarmed at by the Italian defence, and that's a foul in the midfield, and that's surely going to be an 8-metre penalty kick, and it might be even more for the number 8, David Labar. And yes, it's a yellow card for Labar. It was a real forceful challenge, brought down Pektash, who's still lying on the ground. It's going to be an 8-metre penalty kick because it's the 6th team foul, and you can see on the replay there, nowhere near the ball, and takes out the man. And it was a very dangerous position for France because Pektash had the defence on the run, and he would have got round to the edge of the D with no one between himself and the goalkeeper. It would have been a strike at goal from roughly the same position as his penalty. So 8-metre penalty kick here for Germany. It's going to be taken by number 8, and that's Roussom. So Roussom just sorted himself out. 2 minutes remaining on the first half. Very even here in Berlin. Germany 0, France 0. Both teams with 5 team fouls. The 6th one has just been awarded to Germany, so it's going to be an 8-metre penalty kick. Number 8, Roussom versus Julien Rouillet. There's going to be a substitution before that, and Pektash is just going to be brought off the field after that heavy collision and heavy tackle, rewarding in this 8-metre penalty kick. Coming onto the field of play is going to be number 2, and that's Jonathan Tonsing, who we were amazed wasn't actually in the starting lineup. So Roussom from the penalty spot, 8 metres out. Goalkeeper, the crouch down low. Roussom with his right hand on the ball. Looks like he's going to take one step back. His standing left foot's going to remain, and then take a swing with his right boot. Goalkeeper motionless on his line. It's Roussom versus Rouillet. The number 8 for Germany. Silence in the stadium. Left-hand post being tapped at the top and the bottom of the posts. And now the coach will go to the far right-hand side. And there's the bottom, and there's the top of the post. The call will be made. Roussom will then take a step back and strike this right-footed from 8 metres. Roussom. This goes wide of the left-hand post. Got good connection on the ball, but it goes wide by a matter of inches. Really good opportunity there for Germany to open the scoring in this match.
Massive moment in the game, and of course Roussom looking for his 14th international goal, and he'll have to carry on with the weight for that. Now Fangman trying to force the issue. Left hand side of the area, swings at it with the left foot. A few people in the crowd getting to their feet there, thinking that may have been a shot towards goal. He completely missed the ball, however, and it goes out of play, and France start from the back. Throwing it down the right-hand side, an opening for them possibly. The number 4 going down in the area there. That was Riviere. The ball ultimately goes out for a goalie ball. An injection of pace at the end of this first half, which could be a bit precarious for both teams because they do not want to concede. Jonathan Tonsing chasing that one on the far side. He's got number 3 on his back, despite having a squad number of number 2. So he's trying to change things up a bit. Fangman trying to shepherd the ball inside his own defensive zone. Back for Roussom. Roussom's clearance is blocked, and Baron now trying to barge his way towards the right-hand side of the area. Nayez, him and Roussom, a combination trying to get away from Baron. It's in this near corner. It comes off Nayez last, and France will end the first half with a corner. 1 minute to go, and there will be 2 in all blue coming over to the near side to take this one. So Baron leaving it for Ivan Wianji, the number 10, to come over and receive. In fact, it's clipped into the edge of the area. Bouncing ball for Baron to try and control. He fails to do so. Tonsing now, one of the star players of German blind football, top scorer last season in the Bundesliga. And he's trying to force the issue up front now. He's closing down Labar, who has the ball on the edge of his own defensive zone. Clears it down the right-hand side, and Riviere has possession. Being closed down by Nayez up towards the halfway line. A loose ball in field by Riviere towards the far side, the German right. Means Fangman can try and break on it. The ball's not got much pace on it. He's going to have to be careful here. Is Labar as he tries to shepherd that out for a goal kick. He had to ultimately get up and just clear it away towards the near side, the right-hand side as far as France are concerned. It's Riviere with a nice run. There's a 3-on-3 here, and France get the benefit of the doubt from the referee. They win a free kick conceded by number 5 Nayez, and the referee is going to go over to the far side, and if this is a team foul, then France are going to have a penalty, and they are. France have got an 8-metre penalty, so of course Germany had one for themselves with Morgetta Roussom just a few moments ago, and now the coin has completely flipped to the other side, and France will have an opportunity to open the scoring with 15 seconds remaining of this first half. Standing over the ball is David Labar, the number 8. He places the ball down. He has both of his white trainers currently behind the ball. The referee just making sure that the blindfold is securely over the eyes of David Labar before he takes this one. So Sebastian Themmel is the only thing that separates Labar and the goal. And can France take a very important 1-0 lead at the back end of what has been an incredibly tight first 20 minutes. Labar stands with hands on hips, takes a couple of steps back. It's quite a big step back. He touches the ball, then strikes it and scores. France take the lead. The jubilation on the French bench is absolutely brilliant as they crash the advertising hoardings and make all the noise in this stadium. The home fans silence, giving out a bit of an applause for David Labar, who steps up with that penalty. A very long stride, it has to be said, but one step, right-footed, straight into the bottom left corner of Sebastian Themmel's net. He was rooted to the spot, could not get down in time. The guide, Manuel Morgado, very quick to join in the celebrations. Didn't collide with the net this time around, managed to stay on his feet as he celebrated with David Labar. The French take the lead 1-0. Right at the end of this first period. Immediately, though, a free kick for Germany, and they might get a team foul of themselves. Goodness me, what a frenetic end to a compelling first period. The referee going to the far side just to see whether or not this is going to be another team foul. It is. So Germany now have an immediate opportunity to equalise here, and France may have blown that lead away in a matter of seconds. Frustration from Labar as he remonstrates towards his goalkeeper Royer, who is tasked with saving this penalty now. It'll be the substitute Rasmus Nayes who will step up to take this one. He's only got one goal for Germany so far. This his 20th appearance, the St. Pauli defender. Very tall, 6'5". And he's just getting a feel of what's in front of him. He's sort of waggling his fingers like he's playing the piano at the moment. Then he puts his hands down towards the ball. He has 2 feet behind it. He will strike this with the right foot. Tension around this stadium is absolutely incredible. A massive moment in the game. It could be a massive moment in the championships as a whole. Rasmus Nayes, this time with the left hand out in front of him. He steps up, right-footed, saved by the goalkeeper. It rebounds back for Nayes, tackled by his own man, Fangman, coming towards the dying embers of this first period. Can Germany force this one back into the air and into the danger zone? The answer's no, and Riviere breaks over the halfway line now. The German defender's trying to retreat as he comes down the right side of the area, and he finds the near corner. The pendulum swings back in the French favour again. And that is such an anticlimax for Germany, who thought a couple of moments ago they could equalise this contest. They, in fact, go down with a 2-goal deficit. What a breakaway that was from Gaël Riviere, really putting a sting in the German tail at the end of an incredible first half. Such a tight half, and Pete did say it was beginning to favour the French, and 2 goals in a matter of minutes. And 2 missed German penalties see France looking home and hosed at the break. We are very close indeed to the half-time whistle being blown. In fact, there it is. The whistle has been put to the referee's lips, and what an advert for blind football here in these European Championships. An unbelievable end to such a tight and cagey first period. Germany started really well. They got a couple of corners in inside the first couple of minutes that really got the home crowd behind them. Not like they needed encouraging, but as the half progressed, France just started feeling their way into the game. And 2 quick-fire goals, one from the spot from David Labar just moments after Mulgeta Russum had missed a penalty for Germany. Germany then immediately got an opportunity to equalise from the spot. Another opportunity that this time Rasmus Nayes stood up to take. He hit it straight down the throat of Julien Royer, who parried the ball away. And then on the counter charge, up came Gaël Riviere, breaking from the back. Despite the recovery of the German defenders, he managed to go on the right-hand side of the area and unleash a low drive into the bottom left-hand corner of Sebastian Themmel's net. And it means at the end of a breathless end to that first half, the scoreline is France 2, Germany 0.
Well, don't let anybody tell you that blind football is dull or boring. We've had a rained-off game, we've had goals galore on day number 2, and here, what a game that was. 0-0 until very, very late in the half. Then you thought it was going to be one apiece, and they went straight down the other end and scored.
A remarkable game of football, a remarkable first half. I mentioned on commentary that plenty of fouls were being committed, but it was fouls because of really good defence. Sometimes in blind football, you can give away fouls, and you've been very unfortunate giving away those fouls. I thought the French defence were absolutely exceptional, but both teams with 5 fouls. Then we went to the 8-metre kicks. Once there's been 6, 7, 8 fouls committed, you do have these 8-metre kicks. And the difference between the two is that France took theirs, and then Germany, they missed both of theirs. And of course, from that second miss, France went down the other end of the field and scored that second goal, which could be decisive in this match. match.
Well, at one point, the director was in the ears saying there will be no goals in this half and we're just going to have chances. And all of a sudden, we changed our minds. Let's take a look at some of those chances and the goals, of course, that changed the complex of this. France put a lot of pressure on at times here, Pete, and they had a few chances early on.
Yeah, number 10, that's Jan Ouaji. He's a really good player, very strong player in defence, and he occasionally gets forward, and when he does, the runs cause chaos, and it created one chance there. But this is the first of the 8-metre penalty kicks, and it was taken by Roussom, and you can see the goalkeeper there bouncing from side to side, and Roussom strikes and just wide of the left-hand post. And after that, I thought there was going to be one or two more.
He just doesn't catch the ball right, does he? It's off the inside of the foot rather than the laces. Here was the Italian chance to break the deadlock, and they didn't mess about.
Yeah, a different technique here. You can see a double step. Look how far away he is from the ball. Takes 1-2 steps and then strikes it low. David Lebert, a really, really good goal there. He was on a yellow card, and then only moments later, the youngster from St. Pauli, Rasmus Naes, his second penalty kick for France from 8 metres, straight to the goalkeeper, and then got in each other's way, and the ball broke for France to go down the other end of the field.
I'm thinking a la Troy Deeney, Watford against Leicester, missed penalty, straight down the other end and goal, and that's exactly what happened here.
Here's the run by Lucas Smerek, gets the ball from that missed penalty, goes over halfway, past the broken line, low right-footed shot past the goalkeeper, and well, you could hear the groan in the crowd, because the crowd were ready for the net to burst at the other end and Germany to go in 1 goal each, and then real sucker punch at the other end.
I was just going to say, actually, there was a huge groan in the stands. I think at 1-0, they would have accepted that and been happy. The chance to equalise at 1 apiece, and the crowd here was right on the edge of the seat. And then all of a sudden, the break from the penalty, and that ball went in. And there was a few German guys just stood next to me as it actually happened, and there was a real deflation moment. I spoke to one of the German fans early on before the game, and they were all talking about the fact if they could get the victory here, that's 1 against Italy, 1 against France, they'd be very comfortable at that point and would really feel like it was theirs for the taking into the semi-final.
Yeah, you put England alongside these two teams as the favourites to go through into the top 2 positions. I still think France are the favourites for this Group A. But this game's not over at all, and for 2 reasons. One, Ali Champetash has played well for Germany on the right-hand side. They've still got Tonting to really get into this game, but also I still think there's going to be more 8-metre penalty kicks. The way that France operate their defence, they do cross that line every now and again, and I think it won't be the last time we'll see these penalties.
For those at home, the team fouls, do they carry on in the second half, or do they restart again?
Completely restart at the start of the second half. I mentioned on commentary that it's 20 minutes each way, but every time a decision is made, once the whistle has been blown, maybe for a corner, maybe for a foul or a substitution, the time does stop. So 20 minutes can go on for maybe 40 or 50 minutes, and if you've got plenty of fouls against your team, that can seem like an eternity.
Okay, so coming up after this, France would love to get off to a perfect start like Germany did. The Romanians, you would fancy Germany would brush aside fairly easily, and then all of a sudden we might end up with a crunch game. Germany-England, you ever seen that before?
I think that's what it's going to boil down to. If France hold on and beat Germany here, then they've got the 2 games at the end of their group stage against Romania and Italy. You'd fancy France to win those 2. Now if they do beat England, that means that final group game in Group A between England and Germany will be crucial to see who goes into the semi-finals behind France.
Talk to me about a bumper crowd at a blind European Football Championships. It's fantastic, isn't it? As we take a look around the stands here, people were milling in and milling in. Even when the rain came just about half an hour before the game, people were still coming through those gates all the time through this game. People can see parts of the ground through sort of gates area towards the far corner of the stadium. People are looking in and thinking, do you know what, I want some of that. This is great for the sport.
Yes, there was 1 or 2 moments in that first half where some of the players had to tell the crowd to be quiet because they were so enthusiastic about the game. Obviously, once the game gets underway, the crowd has to be completely silent so the players can hear where the ball is and also hear volley being called by both their teammates and the opponents for safety. So when, in my eyes, when the players on the field are telling the crowd to be quiet, that means the crowd are really into the game, being very enthusiastic. It's not a bad thing at all, and well, hopefully all these supporters can can stay for the remaining games, because we've got 2 cracking games after this, including that game at 5 o'clock local time. It's a rematch of the 2015 European Championships final between Turkey and Russia.
Yeah, and of course, don't forget, Rio 2016, Pete, was the first time that some people would have ever have witnessed blind football, and now they're getting even more coverage here in these European Championships. Okay, so in a couple of moments, the players will be starting to think about coming back out onto the field. Pete, what do Germany have to do here to change this game?
I think they have to play like they did in the first half, because they did nothing wrong at all. It's just that France have a really, really good defence. Now, they do live on the edge. They gave away those 5 fouls very quickly, and there was a good 5 minutes where they were living on the edge and they gave away that 8-metre penalty kick. So more of the same from Germany. Maybe have a few shots from maybe further out. They're trying to get into that D to take a shot at goal, so maybe shoot a little bit earlier. But really, I think it's just exactly the same, because it was very, very even until those crazy last couple of minutes.
Okay, Peter, you can make your way back to the commentary position. For those sat watching, whether it be at home on a device, maybe you're sat on a bus watching these wonderful streams either via YouTube or Facebook. We hope you're enjoying it. Half-time in this one, it was indeed France 2, Germany 0. So let's hand back over to our commentary team of Peter Selby. But first up, Jonathan Bell.
Thank you, Alan. The graphic on the screen just then saying Labar 20 and also Riviere 20. Both goals coming right at the end of that first period. It really would have took the wind out of Germany's sails, but they have to make sure they regroup in front of this expectant home crowd. A very plump home crowd as well, filling the stands here in Berlin. And can they pull this one back? It's going to be a tough ask. Pete mentioned at half-time the strong French defence with Martin Baron and also Ivan Wianji, Fabrice Morgando, a workhorse as well in the centre. Germany are going to have to be very industrious in the final third in order to challenge the French stopper, Julien Royer, in goal. France will kick us off in the second half from right to left as we look from our commentary position, opposite where the officials and the coaches' benches, in their all blue strip. Germany in their white tops, white shorts and white socks as well. There's been a half-time substitution being made. Coming on to the field for Germany is number 7, Time Kutig. He replaces Rasmus Nayes, who missed that penalty right at the end of that first period to equalise the game at 1-1, and broke away did Gaël Riviera to double France's lead. So we're off for the second half then. Riviera is the one on the ball to poke it out towards the left-hand side of Martin Baron. Immediately, France trying to hold the territorial advantage. Left-hand side, the error. Baron cuts inside. An early shot there for France. It is blocked very well indeed by Kutig, and up towards halfway it goes. Baron still having possession. Kutig's not letting that one up at all, though, as he goes to ground. He manages to pick up the ball dead centrally as he strides out towards the right-hand side of the area. Now, shot comes in from a dodgy angle. It goes well wide of Julien Royer's goal, and the score remains at 2-0. France with the ball again.
Yes, talking to Alan March there at half-time. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in this second half. And I said more of the same, really, from Germany. Just those crazy last couple of minutes. If you just join our coverage, France going late on twice after missed penalties for Germany. 2 missed 8-metre penalties. It's in the midfield with Tammy Kuting at the moment. Just loses out, actually, to Smirek, the scorer of the second goal. And in a dangerous position, he's out-muscled by Roussom. Roussom down the left-hand side, tries to switch play, but inadvertently passes it to Baron. Baron on the left for France, inside the German half. Nice little pirouette inside the centre circle. Side-footed ball over to the left to try and find his teammate. And he inadvertently actually passes it backwards, Sitsu, to the halfway line. It's just stalled somewhat in the midfield battle in this early couple of minutes of the second half. Pass downfield for France, and it's just going to roll out of play for a goal kick to Germany. Long throw down the right-hand side to try and find the substitute Tonzing. Tonzing's on the field, and they'll need Tonzing, Fangman, and also Ali Chan Pektash all on the field if they're going to get back into this game. Here comes Kuting on the left-hand side for Germany. There's only one man between him and the D. Goes past him. In fact, it's a last-ditch tackle by Ouaji. A really good challenge by the French number 10, who's marshalling the defence admirably so far. And the headgear comes off Kuting, who just pushes his opponent to the ground. Interesting to see here whether Michael Peet, the referee, is given the free kick for that push. Looks like he has done, even though the headgear came off the German number 7. And if so, that's the first of the team fouls in the second half, and it goes to Germany.
Yeah, very much a tough battle between those two. It's been the case between both teams throughout the first 21 minutes, should I say, of this game. Another thing worth mentioning as well, this game in the second half just as tight as most of the first half was as well. However, France are enjoying a little bit more possession, and if they get a third goal, this game should be sealed for them. However, Germany will not make it easy at all. Riviere on the right hand side gets to the byline, pulls it across the face of goal, easily gathered by Themmel, the German keeper, in his green top, black shorts and black socks. Bowls it down the right hand side for Tonzig. Not had much from him so far in this game, but he bundles his way towards the edge of the area. Intercepting and coming across was Zouanji, helping out two of his fellow defenders there, Baron and Arazeki. And Germany will make a substitution. They've got a corner coming up as well, and on comes the man you just mentioned, Pete, Alichan Pektash.
Yeah, for the first time today, Germany will have Fangman Pektash and also Tonzing on there. Really good play by Tonzing to win this corner, but that well-marshalled French defence standing firm at the moment. So on comes Pektash, and he's going to head over to the far right-hand side to help out this corner for Germany. Shooting towards the scoreboard end here in Berlin. Huge crowd watching on patiently, and here comes Pektash with the corner, goes back to the broken line, squares it across to the left for Tonzing, can shoot from distance, comes off the French defence and then rolls into the goalkeeper's hands, who screams to his defence to jump over the ball as it's coming towards him so I can throw it out, and he throws it out quickly to Smerek, the goal scorer of the second goal, down the right hand side in front of the German bench. He's tussling with Tonzing on that right hand side. Good square ball over to Baron on the left hand side, past the broken line. Baron, all in blue for France, down by the left hand corner flank, switches over towards the centre, 8 metres from goal, chance for a strike on goal from point blank range, but the ball just evades the big number 6 for France and runs out of play for a German restart.
For a big man, Baron, very good with his feet indeed. Unfortunately became a bit unstuck as he got towards the penalty area there, and was unable to get the strike away towards the German goal. Sebastian Themmel will have the ball in hand and get this game back underway as he bowls the ball, just bouncing inside his own half, very close indeed towards the halfway line. That it ends up at Tongzig's feet. He turns around 2 times in a circle before switching it towards the left hand side, and Alichan Pektash collides into his own teammate Kutig, but he now has possession, does Kutig, charging down the centre. France a bit more open than what they were in the first half, but still the physicality is there. Arexi, the number 5 for France, managing to get an important footing ahead of Timer Kutig, and it will be a corner for Germany on this near side there right. Jonathan Tonzing stood over the ball. He was wearing number 2 on Friday night / Saturday morning, and he's now wearing number 3. He's joined on the near side by Alichan Pektash for this set piece. Pektash looks to plonk it across the face of goal. It's a wonderful idea, but there's no one on the end of it, which is frustrating for him. He'll get another bite at the cherry now. Set piece on the left-hand side, and it's that same duo looking as if they're going to the far side to take it. Alichan Pektash certainly is, and this time it'll be teammate Kutig with him as well.
Yeah, Kuting wearing 7, Pektash 9. So it looks like Kuting will just roll it for Pektash. Again, another banana running around the outside of the D to a more central position. Takes it now from the left, goes back to the broken line, slightly deeper. Now squares it across to Tonzing on the right-hand side. The ball just runs through his legs. He's still got the ball. Now tackled by Baron, who has one of those rampaging runs down the left-hand side. Now straight over the broken line, shoots from distance into the goalkeeper's hands, who read the ball. Not a lot of purchase on the ball. Could have maybe taken it a few strides nearer to the D, but a good effort on goal nonetheless. Switch play by Germany to the left-hand side. Can't be kept in by Pektash. Yes, it is. Inside the D as he's back to goal. Now back outside of the D. Turns his man well. Shot left-footed wide by Alichan Pektash, showing great control inside the D. But once again, the shot on goal is not accurate. Not enough power as well. And the goalkeeper untroubled for France once again. Rolls it out to the right, and Ouaji, the mainstay of that French defence, he claps the decision by the referee, and Gets a nice hug from the German number 9, Pektash. And this could be foul number 2. And again, we'll keep on mentioning these team fouls after what happened in the first half with both sides committing 5 each. That's the second team foul for Germany. So Germany with 2 team fouls to France, who have 0 so far in this second half. So they've learnt their lesson, still employing a really fierce defence, led manfully at the back by number 10, Ryan Uwaji. He leaves it for his teammate to play it up front, but up towards the halfway line. It's a poor clearance though, and it's back with the French defence. Uwaji comes across and just kicks it up to halfway, follows off his own clearance. Now he controls the ball inside the centre circle, starts his run down the left-hand side. Uwaji up into the final third, tries to play it across, but just slices the ball out of play. But he does get a corner because it was off balance, and the last touch was by Rasmus Nyers, the youngster for Germany, the St. Pauli tall midfielder. And it's going to be a corner to France from the left-hand side in the glorious sun here in Berlin.
Absolutely lovely weather, a complete contrast to the way Germany had to start this competition on Friday night in the deluge against Italy. It's the Germans having to defend here though. This corner taken short for RXZ, who tries to cut in from the left-hand side of the area. It takes another deflection off a German defender. This time it was Kutig back there to deter the ball out of play. And France will have another set-piece opportunity on the left-hand side. The goalkeeper for Germany just marshalling the defence in front of him.
And France won't mind this at all. They're 2-0 up, and obviously the time has been stopped, but the longer the game continues to be played inside the German territory, even without strikes at goal, they won't mind this one bit. Corner taken, back heel, back towards Baron on that left-hand side. He's inside the D, more central position, 10 yards from goal, right-footed shot straight at the goalkeeper. Again, a little power on that, and the goalkeeper gets the game away down the right-hand side. Pektash plays it back to the keeper. In fact, it was poked clear by Baron, so the goalkeeper rolls it out to the left-hand side. Themmel finds Fangman. Ball down the left-hand side. Finds Pektash, who comes off that left-hand board. He's switched sides, the number 9 for Germany. Tackled well in the midfield, but it's back with Fangman, who's the deepest player for Germany. It's with France inside the German half on the left-hand kickboard. Played across to the far side, the far right, in Smirek, who's inside his own half. Switched to the left. Can't be picked up by Baron. He tries a second opportunity, actually runs into his own player, so no foul given there, and it's well worked down the right-hand side by Jonathan Tonzing, but it's again out-muscled by this fierce French defence, and defence turns into attack for Baron. Good tackle there by Fangman as the headgear comes off Tonzing, but here goes Fangman, edge of the D, left-footed shot again, not enough power on that to trouble the French keeper.
First run we've seen from Fangman, of course, Friday night, scored an absolute showstopper with a dribble from inside his own half and down the right-hand side of the area. That time around it was a weak left-footed effort. Meanwhile, at the other end, great play from Muandri. Surprised no free kick was given there. The collision of the two number 10s, legal according to the referee. And at the other end, Kutig, really good charging run towards the edge of the goalkeeper's area. Got the crowd on their feet for a moment, but well foiled by Julian Royer, who bowls the ball out towards the right-hand side. Riviere trying to control it. He loses possession. Good tackle from Fangman, and Tonjing now controls the loose ball. Right of centre, over halfway. Has to turn on a sixpence just on the dashed line there. Hurdling the challenge of Tonzing was Baron as he came over the top of him. The referee saw nothing wrong with that, and Baron will now charge down the left-hand side. Laterally runs in field before switching it square to the right, and Riviere. Good turn away from him from Kutig, then switches out to the left, and Baron, who could close it on goal here. Real opportunity. I think he tried to go around the goalkeeper. Didn't realise how close to the goalie's area he was, and Themmel could gladly collect and give the Germans a bit of respite as they move it up forward now to Alichan Pektash, left-hand side, coming in field now in a central position, loses track of the ball momentarily. Baron absolutely everywhere on the field in this game. His performance in the second half has been even better than that in the first. Fangman trying to dribble his way towards the edge of the area, managing to come across and see that ball back towards his goalkeeper, though, is Araxi of France. And they can now attack themselves down the other end. Baron trying to worm his way into a decent position down the left-hand side. Runs out of space, however. Goes out for a German ball, who attack themselves now down their left. End-to-end stuff in this second half, but Germany need a route back in this game. Kutig trying to force the issue. In the box he goes. Shot comes in, deflects back off him via Vujanji, and that's more like it from Germany. The home crowd encouraged, and Royer rocked for a moment.
Yeah, a couple of good efforts now for Germany. They've managed to get through the French defence, but it's the shots on goal haven't troubled the goalkeeper at all. Long throughout for Germany down the left-hand side. Can't be controlled first time of Askin, and Pektash will try and pick it up second opportunity, but it comes off his shin and runs out for a a restart for France. And the French keeper, Rouillet, didn't have to save that 8-metre penalty in the first half. The first one, it went wide, and the second one straight at him. Throws it downfield on the left-hand side. Switch play over to the right. And it goes Smerek into German territory. Just being held up on that far right-hand side by Kuting. And a lovely pirouette turn by Smerek, who tries to play it to Baron on the far left-hand side. Baron just inadvertently knocks it out of play. So it's going to be a German goalkeeping restart. And the referee's just having a bit of a conversation between themselves. Not entirely sure what's the decision is for, or what the conversation is for. Looks like it's going to be a substitution in the meantime. I think a yellow card has been given to the German coach. So referee Michael Peake, who made that decision, he came over and in a discussion they've given a yellow card to the German coach, who doesn't look very happy at all with that decision, but the decision has been made. Now here goes Fangman over the halfway line for Germany, into the final third, straight on in goal, shot saved at the keeper. It's come back out to Fangman, who's inside the D, tries to turn and shoot. His right-footed effort doesn't have any power on it at all, and it squirms away to the right-hand kickboard. A really good effort there by Fangman, lovely run straight through the defence, but his shot was straight at the goalkeeper, and his goalkeeper did well actually just to close his legs and stop the ball using his forearms and his knees. Ball at the other end of the field with no French player near it, so it's easy for Fangman to bring it out of defence once again. It's Kuting down the centre field towards the D, right-hand side, and trying to hook the ball towards goal, but that runs out of play for a goal kick.
About to have a substitution now for France. The captain, Fabrice Morgado, about to re-enter the fray. He will be replacing Gael Riviera, who got the second goal for France right at the end of that first period. And a good work done for him this afternoon as he goes off and joins his teammates on the sideline on the far side. This is the 6th game of these Blind Football European Championships. We are yet to have a match where both teams have scored in it. And the Germans looking to be the first one to do so. Tonzig on the right-hand side, getting towards the byline here, looks to try and square it across the face of goal. Good bit of recovery that from Hakim Arexi, and that will be a corner ball for Germany on the right-hand side. So 2 men going across to take this one. It will be a combination of Alican Pektash and also Jonathan Tonzig as well. Pektash going towards the broken line, now going into the final third. Pass 1 challenge, pass 2 all the way into the area. He falls down as he goes into the box, and the referee has called for a penalty there. There has been a trip in the area. The German crowd are encouraged. This is a route back into this game and an opportunity to half the arrears with 10 minutes remaining. Alican Pektash back to the cheerleader again, coming towards the near side, pump fisting into the crowd to try and get them encouraged and ready for this penalty. He darted in towards the area, went for a strike on goal, his heels were clipped, and he will now go up to the spot and in fact leave it for Jonathan Tonzig to take. This is a massive moment in the game. Jonathan Tonzig facing up with Julian Royer. Will this be third time lucky from the spot for Germany? Already having failed for the Germans is Russum. He missed, completely went wide in the first half, and also Nayez as well, denied by the hands of Royer. This time around, Tonzig trying to make it third time lucky. The man with the bright green boots just waiting for the taps off the post from his guide behind the goal, Werner Nordelon. And Tonzig trying to half the arrears here, which would make a really fascinating final 10 minutes to this contest. It's been gripping already, but another gear will be brought up here if Tonsing can fire it in, and he hits the post. Well, they've got away with that one, France, for a third time in this game. They're getting closer, Germany, from the spot, but not close enough. Tonsing missing that time around. Kutig now charging down the right side of the area. Shot comes in, easily claimed by the two hands of Julian Royer. Let off again for France, Pete.
Yeah, really good connection on that penalty, but it hit the right-hand post. Goalkeeper completely beaten, but it comes back out and, well, can't be picked up by any of the attackers. And the free kick has been given. So very unlucky there for the Germans. That's 3 penalties missed, 2 from the 8-metre mark and 1 from 6 metres out. Infringement here again by France. That's the second team foul there for France.
The first personal and second team foul, no ball.
So it's going to be a free kick to Germany inside their own half. So Germany with this free kick. Referee is just making sure all the correct numbers have been jotted down. Here come Germany once again. Poor ball forward, stopped exactly on halfway by Morgado of Italy. It's inside the Italian half with number 3 down the right-hand side, Jonathan Tonsing, who missed that penalty, the Golden Boot winner in the last season of the German Bundesliga. Here goes Kuting with a chance and a shot from the edge of the D, blocked by, again, a blue shirt. And Waji just clears. Anywhere will do for Waji. And he goes straight through to the goalkeeper for Germany, who quickly throws it downfield. Controlled on halfway. Lovely pirouette turn by Fangman. Tries to play it over to the left-hand side, and Alişan Bektaş can't pick it up. And once again, France can just try and clear it out of their half. They do so, and they also find their captain, Morgado, inside the centre circle. Turns away from his man, finds number 6, Baron, on his left-hand side. He's only got one German defender to beat. He does so. Edge of the D, right-footed shot, well saved by the goalkeeper. He parries it into referee Michael Peake, who falls to the ground. The ball's still on the edge of the D with Baron. This time coming in from the right-hand side. Can't get a shot off on goal, and it breaks downfield for Alişan Bektaş, who's only got 2 defenders to try and get by. He's got Jonathan Tonsing on the right-hand side. Bektaş stops inside the centre circle. Playing the ball to the right would have been the better option, and then a foul on the giant number 5 for France. So it's going to be a French free kick inside the German half. The foul was committed by number 10, Fangman, the captain of Germany, but a real opportunity there, not only for France at one end, but then on the counter-attack for Germany.
Well, have a bit of a breather there, Pete. Unbelievable bit of action in the last few moments. And it ends with a third team foul for Germany, conceded by the captain Fangman and won by Hakim Arezki. So he will be taking this after a timeout called by French coach Samir Gassama, and it gives us an opportunity, Pete, to sort of look back over the past few moments. Jonathan Tonsing denied by the woodwork from the spot. At least it shows that the guard was doing the right job. He knew exactly where that post was, but he just went slightly too far to the right of it. But the crowd are buoyed by this second half from Germany, who seem to be camping themselves inside the French half.
What is it with the Germans and penalties? Normally so efficient from the spot, but 2 missed from the 8-metre point and then 1 from the 6-metre spots. Very unfortunate though, hitting the post, and if that went into the back of the net, I think we would have had a rip-roaring last 10 minutes. As it is, I still think they are still in this game, are Germany. 1 goal, and they've been the dominant side in this second half. Could really change, just looking at the fouls committed, 2 each for either side, so whether that will come into play like it did in the first half, we'll have to wait and see. But this timeout has been called, and I think it's not just the players getting a quick breath. I think it's the crowd as well, and they'll be hoping for Germany to get back into this game, if not just the 1 goal, but plenty of encouragement being given to the players from these packed stands here in the centre of Berlin.
So play will restart indeed with a French ball just left of the centre circle inside the German half. And it will be taken by a combination of Hakim Arezki, the number 5, who won the free kick, and just behind him is the lot slimmer and more nimble Ivan Wianji. So the head guards and the blindfolds just being checked by the officials before we resume with play here. with the score still poised at France leading by 2-0. 8.5 minutes remaining. Can France put a lid on this one and safely say they can get 3 points from it? Fangman clears the ball away. No danger there. There could be now, though, as far as France are concerned, because Ali Champektas has it. Turns into a bit of room. It's fell just on the edge of the broken line. The referee put the whistle to his lips, then decided not to give the free kick there. I thought that was a certain foul. France getting away with one. And they managed to shepherd the ball outside of their own half. It'll come back at them again, though, with Fangman trying to charge down the right-hand side. Barron comes away with it, the number 6 for France. He's been absolutely superb in this game. I'd possibly say man of the match. Gives it away, though, inside the German defensive zone. France trying to struggle and win the ball back. Possession changing hands very quickly here like a seesaw, but managing to come out on top in the end are the Germans, who break over halfway now. Ali Champektas. Hard as nails is Ali Champektas. You wouldn't think that he'd just recovered from a knee injury with there. The ball goes over halfway into the German half. Germany clear the ball up towards the centre circle, and it breaks fortuitously for Jonathan Tonsing on the right-hand side. Martin Barron, though, never giving up any lost cause, and he now scampers down the left channel, trying to force an attacking opportunity here. Gets towards the edge of the box. The shot comes in, deflects off Fangman, and if anything, made that go on target there into the path of Themmel. Germany have had some positive spells in the last 5 minutes, but they really need to up the ante once again now. Tonsing in the area, this could be the moment. Oh, it's tackled very well indeed by Yuanji, right on the edge of the goal area. There were 3 French players around the ball as Tonsing got a really good angle towards the net there. Was unable to pull the trigger in time before it went in towards Julian Royer, but Germany will come again. We'll see what happens with this attack as it goes towards the left-hand side. Very deep inside French territory. Ali Champektas once again controlling it well with the right foot. Goes back onto the left-hand side. The referee says that Wujanji got the ball there. He certainly has now. Then goes down under the challenge of Kutig. The needle in this game has certainly not been withdrawn over the course of the first 33.5 minutes. Kutig with possession dead central. Still Germany have an attack on, and finally the referee decides to blow his whistle. Pete, there must have been 3 opportunities there for a foul.
Yeah, the referee's blown the whistle because a volley was not called. It's on the broken line, so a very dangerous position here for Germany to try and get back into this game. Standing over the ball is the top goal scorer in the German Bundesliga, Jonathan Tonsing, and that's the 3rd team foul for France, so 3 each, and with 6.5 minutes to go, Germany, if they're going to get back into this game, will need to score sooner rather than later. Standing over the ball is 3 Tonsing, 7 Kuting. 3-man wall standing just inside the D. So this free kick taken just inside the broken line. So still quite a distance from the French net. If the free kick is taken over to the right-hand side, the goalkeeper standing on the far left. That could cause a few problems for the French keeper. Both posts are being tapped, and of course the guide behind the goal, because it's just inside the broken line, can give advice now for this free kick. It's going to be Tonsing to shoot left-footed, hits the French defender, and it's going to be another free kick. The referee's just come over and he's having a word with Jonathan Tonsing. The referee's not actually stuck his arm out to see which side the free kick's been awarded to. I think it's going to be a drop ball in the midfield area. I think the referee's just informing now the French midfield to say just play it back down to the German goalkeeper, which they do off the left kickboard, in a polite round of applause for the sporting behaviour shown by the French midfield. Although France still trying to get outside their own half at the moment. They're being put under siege by the German team at the moment, but France still leading by 2-0 with 6.5 minutes remaining. Foul on the edge of the D, nothing given by Michael Peake. The referee says it was a clean foul, clean tackle, no foul given. Under on throughout by the French keeper down the left-hand side. Royet trying to pick up Barron on that left-hand side. It runs out of play, but at least it's just eased a bit of pressure.
Well, it was a tangle of legs, I think, more than anything, between Wujanji and Ali Champektas. It certainly could have been given that free kick. It wasn't, however, and Germany still need a route to goal. Perhaps if they had got a penalty for that, Germany, they may not have fancied it anyway after the 3 they've already missed. But France looking to counter-charge here and put this game to bed. Baron down the left-hand side. The 3 German defenders retreating. One of them is Fangman. He collides into Baron, and in fact Fangman gets the rub of the green on that particular decision on the edge of the German centre circle. The 2 officials just having a chinwag and deciding what the retrospective punishment will be to Baron and the French team as a whole. And it's a yellow card from Baron. I saw the referee there mouth the word 4 fouls. So Baron has walked a bit of a tightrope in these first 34.5 minutes, and the referee has decided to say enough is enough. You've done your 4th foul, and now the French team have 4 team fouls, and we're getting precariously close to that all-important 5th team foul. After that, of course, the 8-metre penalties are awarded. So Martin Baron, who's had a wonderful game for France, he's covered every blade of grass here on this AstroTurf pitch, but he's going to have to be careful. Fangman going forward, another free kick, and this time conceded by the captain, Fabrice Magado. And suddenly the referee is beginning to give Germany the decisions. It's definitely a correct decision, and that will also be a 5th team foul for France. Fangman, we've only seen him a couple of times make those darting runs from the halfway line. He got into the final third there with a bit of room around him, and I think the calls from the French coaches were saying stop him, quick. Magado responded, but a bit too rashly for the referee's liking.
Yeah, that's the 3rd yellow card as well, given to the captain, Fabrice Morgado. So 3 players on yellow cards for France. That's 5 team fouls as well for France. And there is still 5.5 minutes remaining. So any more fouls by the French team that are awarded to the team, then it will be a 8-metre penalty kick once again. As it is, it's going to be a free kick from roughly 11 metres from goal, a couple of metres to the left of centre. Standing over the ball is Ali Champektash, as well as number 3, Jonathan Tonzing. Interesting to see which one of these will take this free kick. 3 men in the wall. Just to the side is Wuaji, who will be the person to close down the free kick. He'll be bursting out of the wall to try and get to the ball before it struck towards goal. Fangman's on the right-hand side. I think Kuting, number 7, possibly, because he's got his hand on the ball, will be the person to take this. Yes, Kuting, right-footed, wide of the right-hand post. And the round of applause from the crowd. Good effort on goal, but just got his radar slightly wrong. And the game gets back underway with the French down the left-hand side. Just avoids the tackle of Tonzing. Plays it down the left towards Baron, but intercepted in the midfield. Fangman misses his first kick. Now plays it to Tonzing down the right. Tonzing controls inside the French half. Switches to the far left-hand side towards Pektash, but his fellow number 9, Morgado, gets there first. Inside his own third. Morgado goes down the right, beats one, beats a second, now goes over halfway. Strong challenge comes in, but Morgado still has it on the edge of the D, just poked away from the Italian captain. And it's kept from going out of play by Fangman, who plays it towards Pektash over the halfway. The game's got really stretched now. Pektash controls well on the left-hand side, stops it from going out. Pektash by the left corner. He's got Tonzing square, finds the number 3, who just miscontrols it. Goes back to the broken line and the kickboard on the right-hand side, wins it back. Now he's approaching the D from the right-hand side. Left-footed shot hits the defence, goes back out to the right-hand corner, and the French defender can just turn and hook the ball clear. Only finds Fangman, number 10, controls with both his feet. Now coming down the centre, tries to move the defence out of the way, but once again Wuaji gets his body between the ball and the goal and clears for France and follows up the clearance and can possibly lead a counter-attack. Good tackle back by the youngster Tonzing on this right-hand side. He loses out to Baron, who goes over halfway, and a great tackle by Fangman inside the centre circle. Shoots from distance, and that's nearer the corner than the net. Goes out for a French restart.
Looks like one of those days, unfortunately, for Germany. They're getting the opportunities, they're hammering the door, but it is not wanting to be moved. And France just making a substitution here. The man-mounted number 5, Hakim Aregski, is replaced by David Lebar. Lebar, of course, scoring the first goal in this game from the penalty spot just before Gael Riviera double their advantage just moments after. So, throw from the goalkeeper for France, Royer, over halfway towards the left-hand side of Baron. Tight angle if he wants to go for the shot, so he tries to drift in field, squares it across the face of goal with the outside of the right foot. Morgado wasn't receptive enough to get on the end of that first time around, gets it second time around though, goes down under the belated challenge of Kutig, but the ball was already in the hands of the goalkeeper for Germany, Sebastian Themmel, so no penalty kick that time around. France coming from the back now, trying to lead another charge and get a third goal and really put the final nail in the German coffin. Of course, Germany do return to action in the not too distant future with the game against Romania on Monday night. And without being too disrespectful to Romania, judging from their 2 performances so far, they will fancy their chances in that one, so a good chance to put this one behind them. However, they've still got 3 minutes to try and rescue it, and they could here as well if Fanman can get control of it. Baron coming out on top, 2 gladiators locking horns there in the French box. And now Kutig, inside left channel, darts past 3 players, real chance, scored! Hope for Germany, eruption in the stadium as finally Germany managed to break their deadlock. They halve the arrears and they have 2.5 minutes to try and rescue a point out of this one. A wonderful solo run down the left side of the French half by Teimé Kutig, who gets his second goal of these championships, and again he finds the exact same bottom corner that he managed to find on Friday night against Italy. Game on, 2-1.
Yeah, cracking goal there by Kuting. This time the French defence parted and he managed to run into the D from that left-hand side. Right-footed shots found the bottom right-hand corner. No chance for the goalkeeper, and it's game on here in Berlin. France 2, Germany 1. And of course France have 5 team fouls as well, so that could really come into play, and there's plenty of time left. There's a good 4.5 minutes remaining, 4 to 4.5 minutes. The time just momentarily off screen, and it's going to be France to get us underway. And it is game on here in the sunshine in Berlin, day 3 of the IBSA Blind Football European Championships. Make sure you're sending your questions through using that hashtag, the sound of football. At Euro 2017 Berlin is our Twitter handle here. Down the left-hand side, Baron goes for France. Runs it out of play, so Germany will have the ball with 2.5 minutes remaining. And there's a timeout called by Germany, and they're right back in this.
Well, this is finally poised. I really am licking my lips out of the final at 2.5 minutes of this one, Pete. Germany finally managing to hit the back of the net. I said just beforehand, it looks as if it's going to be one of those days. Of course, they missed 3 penalties in this game. But finally, from open play, probably the hardest chance of the lot, Teimé Kutig wriggling his way down the left-hand side, going past 3 blue shirts and arrowing one past the reach of Julian Royer. So it'll be interesting to find out what the Germans are talking about right now. Of course, their coach is Ulrich Fitzsterer, and he will have a lot to say to his team. The crowd giving them one last roar of applause before we go into this final phase of play. The French pointing at their temples, making sure they're focused and ready for what will be a very tough final few minutes for them. Of course, it's only the round-robin stage of this competition. However, wins like this against big rivals like Germany send out a message to everybody else, whether it be in Group A or Group B, that they are keen on winning these championships and they are very much serious about it. Substitution for France. Their captain is withdrawn. Fabrice Morgado making way for Gaël Riviera. And this is going to be a very fascinating conclusion to this match. And Pete, the ball with the German goalkeeper now. Can they pull this back?
Yes, only 2.5 minutes remaining. Again, I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but 5 fouls have been committed by the French team. But here comes Germany up to halfway. Played out to the left by Kuting to try and find Ali Chan Pektash. Pektash is wrestling with the French midfield, comes off better than the others, and he goes to the broken line, but the blue shirts of the French midfield get back. Here goes Pektash though, into the D, goes to ground, nothing given by the officials, groans in the crowd, and it's going to be a goal kick to France. I think the possible, not trip, but collision happened around about 8 metres from goal outside of the D as the goalkeeper gets the game back underway, throws it down the right-hand side. and it's intercepted well by Coutinho. Coutinho switches play from the left to the right-hand side. Only finds Baron, though, for France inside the centre circle. He's going to do it all himself for France, down the left-hand side towards the corner. Stops. Now he's going to come across towards the centre. Baron flips it to the far right-hand side, but unfortunately for him, there was no French player further forward than himself. Coutinho just almost stumbles over the ball. He needs to try and clear it for Germany. Didn't get good purchase on that. Nyes will have to come across and try and tackle Baron. Baron, though, central position, past the broken line, shoots from distance, saved by the goalkeeper, and doesn't hold on to it, so it comes out for Coutinho to try and clear, and he does so once again, slicing the ball to the right-hand side from where Baron picked it up. Fangman runs it out of play, and it's going to be a corner to France with only a minute and a half remaining.
France have responded really well since that time out there and have made sure that the ball is more in the German half of the field than it is the French half. And their coach, Samir Gassama, will certainly be happy about that. But of course he'll be chewing his nails, simultaneously hoping that they don't succumb to a counter-attack from Germany from this. Barros, direct into the area, real chance, can he seal it? No, he can't. Skews it wide of the far post. Looks as if it may have took a bit of a deflection, but it didn't. It was just a clear shot that went wide. The ball is thrown down the other end of the field, straight down the throat of Julian Royer. And a let-off there for Germany, who live to fight for another minute of this game, the final minute. Fangman coming down the right-hand side, trying to battle away from Labar. Labar on top, though, and he clips it towards the right-hand side, a diagonal ball that he says to Gaël Rivière, go and chase. But Teemu Coutinho also intercepted that memo as well, clears it down the left-hand side, and it will go all the way out harmlessly for France for a French restart from the back, and Julian Royer will take. Throws it down the French left to Baron, who stayed up in a very high position indeed there in the left corner of the area. He was waiting for the ball to come to him. It was intercepted from Fangman first, though, who charges down the centre. The ball is forced towards the left-hand side by a deflection from Riviera, and Paktash is now battling away with Labar. A theatrical fall from Labar, but he manages to win a free kick, a goal kick in the end anyway. Well, the referee's going to talk to Alichan Pektas. The reason why, he kicked the advertising hoardings in some anger there as the ball went out, and the referee's just saying, calm it down, we know the passions are high, you've got 20 seconds left, and do not get a yellow card. Of course, Alichan Pektas, he's been getting the crowd up for this one all the way through this game, but may have beginning to boil over a little bit due to the frustration of this 2-1 scoreline. Baron battling away with Fangman and comes out on top, and again hits it wide of the far post from the edge of the area. Baron, definitely a player who I'm looking forward to seeing more and more throughout these championships. The ball thrown down the other end of the field. Again, a testing one from Themel, asking questions of the French defence, but they're coming out on top when those questions are asked. The full-time whistle blows, and France managed to squeeze out on top here against Germany. Those two quick-fire goals right at the end of the first half, enough to take their first 3 points of the campaign. Hugs all round on the French bench. Samir Gassama, their head coach, will be very much delighted with that. The team in blue all hugging each other on that far side. Meanwhile, Alichan Pektas comes across to the near side, the German. He looks quite upset with the result, but he's taking the applause from the crowd nonetheless. Germany can keep their head held high. They were hit by two sucker punches right at the end of the first period. A penalty from David Labar, followed moments after from Gaël Riviera on the breakaway. In between those two goals, Germany missed a second penalty. The miss was from Masras Narez. In the second half, Germany had another chance from the spot, this time 6 metres out. Missing it was Jonathan Tonzig this time around. A left-footed shot from him, bouncing back off the left-hand upright. Germany finally managed to break their deadlock when a lovely run into the area from Teemu Coutinho went past 3 French defenders. He got to the left side of the area before firing a left-footed shot powerfully past the left hand of Julian Royer. But in the end, Alichan Pektas on the ground. Disappointed with the result, but the French very much happy as they applaud the crowd on the near side. A really good turnout for this game, as you would expect, with Germany, of course, being the home nation, attracting big numbers here in Berlin. But France the party poopers this time around. So the full-time score here in Berlin, France 2, Germany 1.
Well, what is it about Germany and penalties, eh? Never thought I'd actually say that. All the chances to have changed that game from the spot, and the German team have missed a fair few of those. We'll take a look back at the highlights of the game a little bit later, but it's one that the hosts have lost here in this IBSA Blind Football European Championships 2017. Here in Berlin, a big crowd came out to support Germany in their second game, 2-0 victor against Italy in the opening, this time out against France. Missed chances have cost them. We're going to go down in a couple of moments to have an interview on the field. One of our commentators, Peter Selby, has made his way down onto the field, and we're just manoeuvring that player into position. But it's a game of missed chances. I'll be joined by Jonathan Bell in a little while as well, and Jonathan will give us his opinions of the game. You can see on the screen, France 2, Germany 1. Just a quick one for you, Jonathan. It was missed chances rather than anything, wasn't it?
Absolutely was. They peppered the French goal all the way through that second period. Of course, they missed 3 penalties as well, which you really can't be doing on the highest level, especially against a team like France. They've won this competition 3 times previously, and they've come here and they've done a good job on Germany. 2 quick-fire goals at the end of the first half.
I hope everybody at home can hear actually the applause they're getting from this home crowd, even in defeat. The locals here have come in force. They've come to cheer them on. There were several occasions where the referee had to ask for quiet, and maybe new spectators to the sport not appreciating the levels of silence that are needed so they can hear the ball. And again, Jonathan, I said it right just before you came in there, it's not often we say Germany and penalties don't go hand in hand, but today it just wasn't theirs.
It was a real surprise, Alan, I have to say. 2 in the first half. Of course, the second penalty for Germany, Rasmus Nares hitting it straight at the goalkeeper, and then France went right back on the attack at the other end. Riviere with a wonderful solo run into the opposing half, firing it low past Themmel, the goalkeeper for Germany. One word on the crowd though, Alan. We've been saying how, of course, they've been backing Germany in this competition. A good round of applause for France at the end as well when they were coming around doing their lap of honour at the end. A good performance from the Germans. However, it's not enough for them. First half, France did the damage with the 2 quick-fire goals in what was a very tight game, and they win 2-1.
So let's take a look at some of the action. As you can see, the crowd and the team celebrating together, and celebrating in defeat on this occasion. Jono just talked me through some of the highlights. This penalty is rattled against the post, hit with force, just not the accuracy needed.
10 minutes to go at this point in the game. Tonsing, if he scores that, really sets up a grandstand finish. We did get the grandstand finish in the end anyway. However, that really would have put the can amongst the pigeons. A bit of a comical moment, that, with the referee falling over, trying to get out of the way of the ball. Baron, absolutely exceptional, the French number 6. He, for me, was that sort of Zinedine Zidane today. I know it's a high label to put him at. That goal, absolutely wonderful from Kutig. He scored the other night in the exact same corner from a free kick against Italy. This time around, a solo run from him in open play, darting down the left-hand side. He had 3 French players going in his wake, and he arrowed it into the bottom corner. Unfortunately, though, for Germany, they weren't to get another opportunity to find that equaliser.
Well, that ability to be able to shift the ball from left foot to right foot and then change direction and hopefully sell the dummy to the player that's trying to come and shouting voy at you and trying to get that ball away. But it is a defeat for the home nation, Jonathan. What does that mean for them from here on in?
It's painful to lose against France. However, they've got Romania next on Monday night, and Romania, they've had 2 games so far. They've not scored a goal. Their defence is leaking quite a bit. They've conceded 10 goals in 2 games. And Germany, again, will be backed by a strong crowd under the floodlights here in Berlin tomorrow night. And they've just got to go out there against Romania and really tell all the other teams, whether it be in Group A or Group B, look, we mean business here. We may have been set back against France, but we're going to go out there and again show our credentials to be potential European champions.
I know we like to write fairy tales, but at the moment it's looking more like they'll go into the next game and take a victory, and then after that a clash against England.
It's taste, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. And England, they'll know they've got a bit of work to do themselves. Yes, they were convincing in the 6-0 win against Romania, but they weren't exactly perfect. There'll be things that their coach will be looking to work on, that is for sure, John Pugh. Germany, however, I think they've got a lot of encouraging signs. Second half today, they pressed France a little bit more. France have got a very tight defence, and you'd be a brave man to call that result on Tuesday night.
Part of the coaching will be to keep them positive, having missed those 3 penalties. It's about building up the confidence of those people that stepped up in the future, and just the team as well. They'll know, sat in their changing rooms in a couple of moments' time, they will know that 3 huge opportunities went begging, and this game could have had a completely different complexion.
If I was the German coach, I'd be saying at the end of that game, forget about the sound of football, the sound of the crowd said everything for me. The performance was much appreciated by everyone that had turned out here in Berlin today. This could have been the first time that a lot of these people in the crowd, or maybe those watching on the live stream, have seen blind football, and I think they'll be very much encouraged by the German programme that is running here in Berlin at the moment, and that chances are high for them in the rest of the tournament. 1 defeat does not mean you can lose the tournament. Turkey lost when they won it in 2015 to England in the group stages, and they went on to win the whole championships.
Okay, well, it certainly makes for a very interesting end to the group stages. Let's go down to Peter Selby, who's got himself an interview.
Tammy Kuting, goal scorer for Germany. Now, before the game, both teams said that losing this game is out of the question. I'm sure Germany will ruin those 3 penalties.
Tammy Kutig, bei dem Spiel war es eigentlich verboten zu verlieren. Wie bitter ist es, A, dieses Spiel zu verlieren, aber B, auch vor dem Hinblick, dass man 2 Double-Penalty im Penalty hat liegen lassen und somit hier als Verlierer vom Platz geht.
Ja, kann man kurz zusammenfassen. Die letzten 15 Sekunden vor der Halbzeit, wenn die nicht gewesen wären, hätten wir jetzt 1-0 gewonnen, und damit ist eigentlich auch alles gesagt.
In a very tight Group A, surely thoughts are looking forward to the final group match against England. That could be the deciding game to see who goes through into the semi-finals.
Ja, jetzt liegt alles wahrscheinlich an dem entscheidenden Spiel gegen England. Was hattet ihr euch vorher vorgenommen? Jetzt ist die Konstellation mit einer unerwarteten Niederlage eine andere. Jetzt heißt es, alles gilt gegen England?
Naja, wir können jetzt nicht gerade behaupten, dass wir ein Sieg gegen Frankreich, dass das ein Muss gewesen ist. Wir haben jetzt schon noch die Chance, indem wir einfach gegen England gewinnen, und das machen wir auch dann noch einfach.
2 games, 1 win for Germany against Italy. The defeat here today, the next game against Romania. What will the team be talking about when they regroup back at the hotel? What do the team need to work on looking to their next game?
Ja, über England haben wir geredet, aber erstmal steht Rumänien vor der Brust. Wie sieht jetzt euer Programm aus? Wie sieht eure Vorbereitung für das Spiel gegen Rumänien aus?
Tore schießen.
Just score goals.
Ja.
Tammy Kuting, goal scorer for Germany. Thank you very much and good luck in your remaining games.
Danke.
Well, fantastic. There you go. How do you win games? How do you win tournaments? You score more goals. And I think Germany today will know exactly that. So everybody leaving the stadium here. We've got a bit of a gap now until our 3rd game of the day. The schedule coming up on the screen in just a couple of moments' time. 4 games a day, today, tomorrow, and for the following 2 days as well. The next game to come later on today will indeed be Russia taking on Turkey. It is the 1500 kickoff, and we will be back with you 20 minutes before kickoff. In fact, it should be 17, and of course it should. 5 o'clock the game, so ignore the graphic. It's 5 o'clock. We'll be back with you 20 minutes before, and enjoy your afternoon. It's a bit of heartbreak for the Germans. However, they've got a game against England to come. How will that affect the group stages? We'll find out later in the week.